5thefanatic.com.
Well, we've reached the All-Star break. Question is, are you all in for part 2 of this beautiful Philly season? It's Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Kincade and Salciunas.
I'm not trying to get people to turn on Bryce Harper. I love Bryce. When he was announced, I still gave him the standing ovation. It was great to see him back. But if we're talking big picture World Series or bust, I just wonder how people will react if he can't be himself because of a decision that he made and his team made during the offseason.
Even if Bryce Harper is not Bryce Harper, he's better than what you've been trotting out there, and he's still going to get that respect from opposing pitching staff. So it's a step in the right direction.
Kincade and Salciunas. John Kincade, Andrew Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And a good Monday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salciunas alongside my man, John Kincade. Johnny, it's good to see you. It's been like 2 weeks.
Longer. I mean,
You've gone gray since I've seen you last.
it's like 18 days since we've been together. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Vacation was fun, but it's
Looked
always
like you had
good
a good
to be
vacation.
back. Yeah, man. Jersey Shore, a little Bristol, Connecticut.
That's not vacation. I've done the Bristol thing. Not vacation, but fun.
You know, national radio's fun. But
it is fun.
It's not home. And it is good to be home, and it's good to be back around you lunatics who I love dearly. And when I say you lunatics, I don't just mean John Kincade and Connor Thomas. I mean the Philadelphia fan base. Because we once again have a baseball team on top of their division entering the All-Star break, but it hasn't necessarily been a smooth ride. It hasn't necessarily been a fun ride.
No.
There have been fun moments. There have been moments where we have complained a lot, deservedly so. I mean, this team has done so much for you to doubt than for you to just say they're going to be fine, they're going to be great. Now, I've never wavered. You've never wavered. Connor's never wavered. They're going to win this division. It's just whether or not they can actually make some legit run in October. That's been the story from the beginning.
Now, differently, I said they would make the playoffs.
Okay.
I did not say that. I mean, even though I do believe that that's probably the way it'll work out, I was like,
I still stand by. I'm entirely confident that they still win this division.
Well, 66 is a good number this morning as we wake up.
Is that the magic number?
66.
I saw your tweet the other day that 66. You put out the magic number.
Yeah, and Austin Jones from Nighttime fame here at The Fanatic was like, are we doing that now? And I said, oh, yeah, we're doing that.
Hell yeah, we're doing the magic
66,
number. 66 games till the Phillies win the National League East. But we're at the All-Star break. Phillies ended their series with the Padres yesterday. They won Game 3, thank God, because you didn't want them to get swept going into the All-Star break.
And they played terribly. It wasn't
a fun series.
They pitched poorly until yesterday with Christopher Sanchez. They had a poorly pitched series. They were not clutch at all. It was just a bad series. They had a bad weekend.
Poorly pitched bullpen series. I thought Ranger was good in Game 1.
Ranger was good. Yeah, he was good. He did his job. Did his job.
A one-earned run. That's pretty.
I mean, he did his job. But we're getting
pretty good.
This team is just so maddening.
Yeah,
they're so maddening.
I know they're maddening. And so here's the deal. We have a second half of the season to prepare for. Obviously, record-wise, they've already played 81-plus games, but we have the unofficial
96.
second half of the season, 96
it's
games
amazing.
in. And now the rumors of trades have gotten hotter and hotter, especially with the Phillies. There's a lot of loose lips inside this Phillies organization, and it might be Dave Dombrowski himself with all the reporters, Jeff Passan, Jim Bowden. There's been a lot of guys that have been reporting about the Phillies and what they could be doing at the end of this month come the MLB trade deadline. And, John, we've reached the point now where it's big names that the Phillies are attached to. Maybe not big names like Juan Soto from a few years ago and Shohei Ohtani a few years ago, but if you pay attention to baseball on a national level, there are some big names that the Phillies are attached to that we'll talk about more as this show goes on. But when you're attached to big names, that also means that you have to give up big prospects. So the question for everybody today at 610-632-0975, now that we've reached the break and we'll have a few days to sort of sit here and think about what this team is, are you ready to go all in? If you are the Phillies management, you're Dave Dombrowski, are you going all in? And by all in, it's not, hey, can we move our 8th prospect to get the number 1 closer on the market? No, you're going to be giving up some top guys, whether it's on the Major League roster right now or, of course, your top prospects, your Andrew Painters, your Aiden Millers, your Mick Abel, who's been up and down. Are you all in, Johnny?
No.
I'll ask you.
No, I'm not. But I mean, the reason I'm saying that is because the fact is, I did the deep dive this weekend. Christina was still in Toronto. Did get back last night. And so I had a lot of time to read. Did a lot of reading. Even read some at the pool this weekend.
That's good work.
And
anything like novels?
No.
Or all sports?
No, I read like a lot of stuff. But you know what I did? Dork Boy did?
So you didn't get educated about life? You
No,
got
not at all.
educated by Phillies baseball?
No, I read a lot of financial stuff.
Oh, that's good.
I did do a lot of financial stuff, which was fun. Got some good
Sounds
tips
fun.
if you need any. But what I read was last year's trade deadline. I went back and was such a dork. I went back and read what all the people were writing about last year's trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying the same stuff. To get the guys in the trade market, you're going to have to give up the top prospects. Top prospects are going to have to be moved. Even the Phillies beat writers last year, who I think do an amazing job, great job. They were talking about you're going to have to give up the Aiden Millers, the Mick Abels, in order to get anybody at the trade deadline. A top 10 prospect was not moved across Major League Baseball at the trade deadline. So I hear people saying you got to move your top prospects in order to get somebody at this trade deadline. I will just tell you, and if you do a little research, you can see it. They were saying the same stuff last year, and that didn't come to fruition across the entire major leagues.
Okay.
The market wasn't the same. So I don't know what you have to spend.
Right, because we don't know what this year's market's
But what
going
I
to be.
will say is, I think it's going to be a pretty soft market because I don't know how many teams are out of it. Like how many teams are out? Like I keep hearing about Cleveland and Minnesota. Cleveland and
Right,
Minnesota.
those are the two teams where there's a
That
lot of
everybody's targeting.
players. Right.
Okay, now the Phillies getting mentioned a lot with Cleveland and Minnesota. Here's another thing Dork Boy did this weekend. Go read the Cleveland and Minnesota beat writers. They're not writing stuff about they're hearing the Indians, the Guardians. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. The Guardians tied to the Phillies. They're not hearing about the Twins tied to the Phillies. Makes me wonder. Makes me wonder if the Phillies are getting stuff out. And because the Twins writers and the Guardians writers are writing stuff, but they're not writing about the Phillies being the hot and heavy team. It's making me wonder if we're getting fed stuff to give us, hey, back off. Back off. We're doing everything. We're all in. We're doing everything we can. When in reality, they're kicking tires.
Well,
But
unless Dave Dombrowski just texts Jeff Passan and doesn't text the
Or-
Matt Gelb of Cleveland.
But the thing is, though, the Matt Gelb of Cleveland has the contacts within Cleveland.
Sure.
And I believe they would probably have as good a contacts to know what's going on with them, and they're not hearing the Phillies.
Could be.
And the Twins, they're not hearing the Phillies. I'm not seeing it, so I'm wondering, are we being fed stuff to appease us?
Well, and if that's the case,
we're all in, guys. We're kicking every tire. We're doing all we can. Because I've seen 3 trade deadlines in a row,
right,
where Dave Dombrowski has not gone for it.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. So, hello, guys. I'm Andrew Salciunas, Mr. F them picks. Mr.
You are.
Bleep those prospects.
You're the Les Snead of sports radio.
I don't care about prospects. I really don't. And I got to the point where I didn't want to move on from Andrew Painter and Aiden Miller, and I still hesitate, but we're watching Andrew Painter struggle in AAA. He may be working on things. Now, all of a sudden, he's not even in the plans for this second half of the season, or at least they don't have any public plans for Andrew Painter. I remember when Kyle Drabeck was an untouchable prospect. All those guys in the previous Guardians trade for Cliff Lee, these guys were untouchable prospects, and they didn't pan out. And I know we've had this conversation numerous times, right? All right, it's easy for me to point out to the prospects that haven't panned out. There have also been prospects that have panned out.
Not many, though.
But I know the guys that are currently panning out, the guys in Major League Baseball that are panning out. I have proven data that guys like Quan from the Guardians and Duran, the closer from the Twins, are proven that they can play at a high level in Major League Baseball. Sure, these prospects could become something, but I don't have any data to back that up. I have all the data in the world for the guys that are already doing it at the Major League level.
I think you are speaking today. You are on the pulpit, and the people that are in the congregation are saying, hallelujah, Andrew Salciunas, preach, preach, preach.
Hell yeah, man.
I absolutely believe what you are preaching this morning is what Philly fans want to hear and what they want to believe. I just wonder if we have a false prophet in Dave Dombrowski.
And that would be disappointing.
It would be disappointing, but I'll tell you, right now, I don't know if it would be surprising. I don't know if it'd be surprising. We've got a track record to work off of.
Yeah.
And it has not been here. It has been shelter. And I'm not sure that, first of all, I don't know who's available. And second of all, I don't know that he's going to empty the coffers.
If you're Dave Dombrowski, are you going all in with this roster by adding key players, top players, which means you're giving up top prospects? 610-632-0975. You can text in your answers. Coming up next, will the Phillies be better after the break? Do we have any trends? John Kincade breaks it down for us next. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Monday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
You're giving 2 roster spots.
game from yesterday.
Does that distract you too much?
Why I can't have a TV on? Like to me, I can't. Like I'm if I see something, oh look, bunny. I'm distracted.
Yeah, you're like
but
a gnat with a lamp.
But I can't watch the replay of a postgame show. With all due respect to Mike and to Ben, can't do that.
It's just not. It doesn't do it for you.
No, I can't do it.
All right. So you have trends, or maybe we have trends. We're not entirely sure.
We don't know.
But you, again, nerd boy, you had way too much time. In your hands. It's actually scary when you have too much time in your hands.
Well, I'm glad my wife is back.
Yes.
I'm glad she's back in town.
I'm happy for you both.
I'm glad she's back.
I don't know if I'm happier for you or for her. I'm not sure.
I'm glad she's back in town.
But you took a look at the Phillies in recent years post All-Star break.
Yeah, and looked at the All-Star break too, just to like where you're at. So let's look at it this way. In 2022, they were 49-43 at the All-Star break. But going into the All-Star break, they had gone 14 games over 500 in the 6 weeks leading up to it under Rob Thompson. He had just been named the manager.
Right.
6 weeks on the job. Everything looked positive. They were 6 games over 500, and everything was on a roll. In 2023, they were 48-41. So they were 7 games over 500. They dug themselves out of a slow start, which we were calling if Bill Colarulo had been with us at the time, he would have been calling it the World Series hangover.
Right.
Which doesn't exist in football, by the way. But he would have been calling it the World Series hangover. In 2024, last year, do you remember what they were? 28 games over 500.
Yep. Franchise record.
So just to give you perspective this morning, as you might be a little frustrated with the Phillies, as they sit there this morning and you go, wow, the Phillies are just 14 games over 500. I would just tell you, they were 6 games over 500, and they went to the World Series, won the National League title. They were 7 games over 500, and they lost Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. They were 28 games over 500 at the All-Star break, and they lost in the divisional series. We know nothing today. We think we know a lot. We think we know a lot.
Well, because we've seen the same team the last 2 years.
But what they've shown us, even though that is a great point.
They ran it back.
But
Part 3.
But the thing is, they've ran it back. But in running it back, we don't know what the hell we got. Because as Forrest Gump once told us on that bus stop in Savannah, we have no freaking clue what this team is, and their erraticism from week to week, we have no idea. What I do believe I know today, July 14th, Bastille Day, my buddy Joe with the Dirty Garage's birthday. Joe, happy birthday. Joe
birthday,
Amico.
Joe.
I do believe I know that this team cannot put together 5 to 6 weeks of great baseball. Nope. This team can't do it. As currently constituted.
Right.
This team cannot. Can I change my mind? Absolutely. Can they convince me in the second half? Can they go make some trades? Absolutely. But as currently constituted, could this team win a couple rounds? Absolutely. Could they go to a World Series? Yeah, sure they could. Could they play 3 great rounds of baseball in a row? No, they can't. Because they've shown me over 3 years that they can't.
I just don't think Forrest Gump ever used the word erraticism.
I don't think he did either, but he
wasn't in the vocabulary there.
I don't think he ever dropped erraticism.
By the way, sometimes if you ever do go to Savannah, which is a fun spot to visit, you sometimes will have to wait 15, 20 minutes to get a picture at that bus stop.
Is that right?
Yeah, people are lined up to take their picture.
The Rocky statue.
To take their picture at that bench.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be in the middle of the day. It'll be 15 to 20 minutes.
I'm sure
people
the same way
to,
with the Goodwill Hunting.
Oh
that bench. I'm sure it's the same thing. Once you find it, there's probably other people
there. How you like them apples?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So
just so to tell us, whatever we think the Phillies are today, when they were 6 games over 500, they won a world championship. I mean, they went to the world championship.
Yeah.
They went to the World Series. When they were 28 games over 500, we were done in pretty much the 10th of October.
Yeah, they're also still outpacing the 1980 team, the 2008 team. Both those teams win the World Series. There's 66 games left in 2.5 months before we even get to the postseason.
And both those teams didn't have a talented left fielder like Max Kepler.
Why does that have to be the first
Oh my
place you go?
gosh! I'm telling you, he is
Because he stinks.
What is
yes.
the hate the face?
Yes.
I'm getting there.
Oh, he's been there.
I'm getting there.
He's
no,
been there.
after his
comments.
after his comments, his smug attitude and everything. Now I'm getting there.
Is it because he looks like Andrew?
And he's piled up.
Why, I
he's
think
piled
he-
up 3 hits since those comments.
Ever since Liv said that, since my daughter said that, I can't get it out of my head now too.
There can only be one of us in town. All right.
Yeah, there can't
And
be
I'm
one.
not going anywhere.
Well,
All
are
right.
Germans and Lithuanians there? Are there any bloodline pretty close? Because he's German. He's full German too.
You know, a lot
never know.
of Lithuanians went that way.
Well,
They're
there you
both
go.
European before coming over here.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll be glad to
sure.
see him gone.
All right, coming up next.
DFA.
What if the Phillies spoke with the Eagles about the trade deadline and what this
Interesting.
team should do? We discuss that next. And again, we want to hear from you at 610-632-0975. If you were Dave Dombrowski, are you going all in with this baseball team? It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sanchez carries the Phils into the break. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies heading to the All-Star break on a high note with a 2-1 win over the Padres out in San Diego yesterday. Christopher Sanchez went 7 1/3 innings of 1-run ball to cap off a stellar first part of the season for him. Rob Thompson talked about Sanchez's performance and what he's improved upon in his Phillies career.
I'm just so proud of him from where he started and where he's at right now. Not just stuff, but command, poise, and composure.
With a record of 55-41 at the break, the Phils, despite losing the last 2 series, hold a half-game lead over the Mets in the NL East. They'll be back in action on Friday night when the Los Angeles Angels come to town. Kyle Schwarber, their only All-Star actually playing in the game in Atlanta, will be in action on Tuesday in the MLB All-Star game. The MLB draft also started last night with the Phillies selecting Gage Wood, a right-handed pitcher out of Arkansas in the first round. You might remember him for his no-hitter for the Razorbacks in this year's College World Series. The Sixers' next Summer League game is tomorrow night against the Wizards. We'll see if VJ Edgecombe is back in action or not. And the Eagles are just 8 days away from reporting to training camp. This update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that's built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Philadelphia Sport.
6:27 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this beautiful Monday morning. Little muggy, so I can't say totally.
A little muggy.
Can't say totally beautiful.
It's like a
but
freaking
little muggy.
sauna out there.
Yeah.
And Connor loves it. It's
Yeah,
like
it was great.
That garage this morning, I walked out of the house into the garage before the garage door went up, and I was like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It is oppressive outside today.
Yeah.
Nasty.
It's a little rough out there, but we shall overcome.
We'll take it over rain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take it over
Take
rain.
it over snow. Take it over a lot of things.
Yes, we will.
All right. What if the Phillies spoke with the Eagles? It's a very interesting topic that
Can you
sent
tell it's
my way
All-Star
last
break?
night. Yeah, well,
Can you tell? Like, seriously. Can you tell it's the All-Star break?
but it's a good way to use your brain a little bit because on a Monday morning after the weekend fog, maybe a lot of people need to use their brain a little bit to get their weeks going. And the reason why you send that question is, how would the Eagles approach this deadline? Because the Eagles, what we celebrate with the Birds is that if there's a problem, they get ahead of it, they move on. Carson Wentz, Bryce Huff. By the way, I was out when Bryce Huff had his comments. Did you guys talk about that at all last week?
I did not. Oh, you mean his ones about I wanted to be traded right away?
Yeah, it was a bad situation for me.
What a couture.
You played for a Super Bowl team and you're complaining about the situation? Man, that
Don't
is
even get me
that is an
started.
all-time loser take. Like Bryce Huff, I now know forever is a
and
loser.
Bryce is a good dude, and thing is that take sounds so beneath him.
From
'cause he's-
an athlete
'cause he's a
standpoint,
great-
I know he's a loser.
Because he's a good dude.
Yeah,
And
good.
DeCecco will tell you that. He's a good dude, and the take was so it didn't sound like him.
No,
It sounded very soft.
it was a soft,
Very soft.
loser athlete.
And
take.
he is
good riddance.
I was shocked.
Good
very
riddance.
shocked
I'm
that he
sorry,
came out
good
like
riddance. So the Eagles get in front of bad situations to try to fix it. The
They do.
Eagles, when they find a good situation, they jump on it, right? We see the early contracts, never really letting guys get to their free agent period, that final year of their deal. They pay guys ahead of time if they think that they are still suited to play for the long run. Obviously, the Dallas Goedert
Right.
situation a little bit different
Yeah.
because he's pushing 30, but we saw it with Hurts. We've seen it with every single offensive lineman. The Eagles are one of the best run organizations in all of sports, not just football, but
They
all
are.
of sports. So what if the Phillies, John Middleton, and Dave Dombrowski, because I know when you send it to me as Middleton with Laurie.
Yes.
I think the conversation could also be Dombrowski and Howie.
Well, I think. No, that could be. Because I think that. I honestly don't think Howie and Middleton could. Howie and
Dombrowski.
could even speak the same language. Watching how the two of them have done their work, I'm not sure the two of them could even have a communication. Like Howie is on such a different level of chess, and Dombrowski has such an incredible resume.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm saying that is, I'm not trying to degrade Dave Dombrowski. But what I'm trying to tell you is that they communicated a different. Dave Dombrowski is about, I think, a different. He operates on a different level. Is Howie's about the cap? Howie's a capologist. Howie's about. Dave Dombrowski's
I would say
different.
that I think Dombrowski. What everybody says about Dave Dombrowski is he ruins your farm system. He trades all that kind of stuff. Right?
He literally has burned organizations to the ground in order to win at the major league level.
I could say that Dave Dombrowski is Howie Roseman in 2017, where he sold out for that Super Bowl.
I think that's fair.
They won the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
And then we saw how bad it was afterward. But Howie Roseman is now on a whole different level, where he's not only still building Super Bowl teams, but he's building for the long run.
Now, I was doing word salad back there, but there was more the idea of Howie Roseman doesn't have a minor league system to raid, is sort of where I don't think they can speak the same language.
Right.
Because he doesn't have that to deal with.
But they can get the sense of whether or not this team can actually win
Yeah.
and what moves you make to try to
Like-
put yourself in an even better position.
Like I would say, yes, Bryce Harper had his great day the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bryce Harper that I've seen would clearly play into my mindset of going, am I going to raid my minor league system and put all my chips to the center of the table for a team when Bryce Harper's not Bryce Harper?
Well, if you know who your minor league system is, maybe Dave Dombrowski says, yeah, he's a top prospect for our system, but we think we have an idea of who this guy will be at the major league level.
That's a good point. I don't believe that's the case. Like, I don't think he's down on his minor league system, But I mean, it's look. This year would definitely give you some concern.
Sure.
Because if you're hearing about, like I heard all weekend long on the Fanatic, got to listen a lot, got to hear some great shows all weekend long, and I'm hearing all the stuff about, well, Andrew Painter, can't touch Andrew Painter. Why? And I just wanted to ask every single one of the hosts that I heard and every one of the callers that I heard, why? Explain to me why.
I don't think anybody should really ever be considered untouchable.
Well, I knew that would be your answer because you are the Les Snead.
Yeah.
You are the Rams general manager of Sports Talk Radio host. You are the F them picks guy. But I was listening to the host, and I'm listening to the callers, and I'm going, okay, explain to me what give me your analysis of why you're saying you wouldn't touch Andrew Painter. Because, well, it's his stuff. Okay, so his stuff that you've seen how many times?
Yeah, very little.
And you mean you've read about? Because his stuff at the AAA level isn't fooling anybody. And Mick Abel goes down to AAA, and Mick Abel in AAA makes everybody look like clowns. He literally donkeys every team he plays. And then Andrew Painter goes down against the same lineups and gets knocked. And then Mick Abel comes up to the major league level and struggles sometimes. He's also had some very good starts.
Yeah, he has.
And so we're expected that Painter's the guy that's going to come up here and he's going to be able to, well, when he gets to the major league level, he's going to be untouchable. Enough of this worked on stuff. That's not what's happening.
Yeah,
that's not what's happening.
I mean, you know how I feel. Like Sixto Sanchez.
No, you are.
Sixto Sanchez,
You are.
another, God forbid, you move on from Sixto Sanchez, and then you have a backstop in JT Realmuto who's been consistent for you for the last 5 years.
And could we be finding out that the Tommy John, not every pitcher comes back from Tommy John better.
Right.
I mean, people talk about it, it's like, it's good for pitchers. Nah,
Well,
not
maybe
always.
he's better next year. But
Right.
the question is, are you going to hold on to him for next year to see what you
Absolutely.
see next year? So what would that conversation be? If it's Jeffrey Lurie and John Middleton.
I think Jeffrey Lurie would say, I've tried to build the gold standard franchise. I've told the fan base in town, I've tried to build the gold
Since the
standard
time he
franchise.
got here.
I
Yeah.
want to build, and Jeffrey Lurie's thing, I want to build a sustainable franchise that would be in the mix to win championships year after year after year.
Can't you make the case that the Phillies have done that?
Not if they empty the farm system now with an aging team. I think Jeffrey Lurie would say to him, be very careful. Be very careful about emptying the coffers for this team. Look at your team and be honest about it. You think they're as good as you think they are? You think they're as good? Look at that lineup.
I saw a tweet.
Is that batting order? You look at a starting pitcher getting ready to face the Phillies. Does the starting pitcher want to face the Phillies lineup, or do they want to face the Dodgers lineup or the Cubs lineup?
They'd probably want
Dodgers
to
and the
face
Cubs
the
lineup.
Phillies a little bit more.
The Phillies would be the number one choice every time, and twice on Sunday. The Dodgers and the Cubs lineups, much more difficult. The Brewers lineup's better. For God's sakes, more difficult.
I saw a tweet yesterday. I was reminded that Cody Clemens, who hit his 12th home run yesterday, would be tied for the second most on the Phillies right now.
Yeah.
The lineup is lacking.
The
here.
Phillies lineup is not a lineup that anyone's going to go, dude, that's a championship lineup right there.
Until you add players to the trade
By the
deadline,
way-
you go all in with.
By the way, I've never seen bigger hole that Kyle Schwarber doesn't look like Kyle Schwarber.
Not right now.
For a while,
Did we think he was going to hit 60 bombs?
No, but he's having a lot of bad at bats now too.
He'll get back. He's a guy that wants the ball flies.
I have no question he'll get back, but he's even having a bad streak.
Oh, yeah. He is. All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line for the first time this morning, get some of your calls about this Phillies. Are you going all in if you're Dave Dombrowski? And by all in, we mean top prospects, the guys that you consider are untouchable. Nobody's untouchable. Trust me when it comes to that. Also, I haven't seen John in 2 weeks. Has he gotten what he wanted with the Phillies? We revisit a goal next. It's Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you, so text us at 610-632-0975. It is 6:41 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. I know we talk about weather a lot on this show. Last week, that one major storm, did you guys get that up in the borough? The one
we
that
did.
was the light show?
Oh, we did. And they got like 2 hours of thunder.
So it came up the coast. So I was in Brigantine when that storm happened. So I saw it like coming from the water and this light show. And I was laying in bed and I just opened up the blinds just to watch it. I was like going blind from the lightning.
It lit up the room.
It was nuts.
We didn't get much rain out of that one, though, which was weird.
Right. It was just
Like
a
we got
crazy
a lot of
heat
we got a lot of light and then got very little rain out of it.
It was nuts last week.
Kyle from Crossing Broad, who does a great job.
Yeah.
He does not like it when we do weather. He's mentioned it a couple of times.
Oh, sorry,
He
Kyle.
goes, there's Kincade Salciunas with the weather report again.
Yeah, man. Look, I love weather. Weather's cool. Connor,
I love
know
the
you're
weather.
a weathersman.
Weather's sick.
I know
am a
you-
weathersman.
Yeah, weather's awesome.
Weather's awesome.
Pro weather on this show.
By the way, when there's crappy, when you're up at 4 a.m. and you have to drive in monsoons, which we had nothing but rain this year. We had a lot of crazy weather
Yeah.
rolling in. A lot of times we want to warn people that there's bad things. There was a terrible accident this morning, by the way, at Route 30 and 202 as I was driving in. Multiple fire trucks, multiple police cars and everything. I don't know what happened, but God bless all the first responders that were there, but it did not look good.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
When I was driving by, when I see all this lit up activity as I'm on 202 and I look down, I was just saying, hey, said a quick prayer.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's
everybody's okay.
All right, so real quick, before we get to your goal and before we get to the text messages, I just saw a tweet from our buddy Mike Gill.
What's up, Mikey?
He put this out.
I heard him yesterday.
He put this out
did a great
yesterday
show
morning.
yesterday.
If this was a lineup, forget that it's the Phillies, all right?
Okay.
If this was a Major League Baseball lineup, this team stinks. I'm sorry, Mike. He puts out what the Phillies lineup should be out of the All-Star break. So before the trade deadline, right? But out of the All-Star break.
Okay.
Turner, Bohm, Harper, Schwarber, Kemp, Sosa,
What?
Castellanos, JT, Marsh. He says enough with the platoons. Rojas, Stott, and Kepler aren't doing their part, so play the guys that give them an opportunity to
All
get
right.
everyday reps.
I heard some of Mike's show yesterday. It was a really good show.
Oh, he's great.
Listen in.
Yeah.
Mike, I want you to pee in a cup.
If Otto Kemp is
After
batting
that.
fifth for a Major League Baseball team, they have no shot of winning anything.
You're not winning. So in other words, you're just saying we want to put up cosmetic numbers, but we don't want to win a world championship. That's where I'm off.
What cosmetic numbers are you?
No, but that's
you're not even getting cosmetic numbers.
Yes, you are. That team would win games. That team
No, it
wins
wouldn't.
games. Yes, they would. That team wins games.
Team stinks.
No, that team wins games, but that team wins games and doesn't win a world championship. Probably doesn't win a playoff series.
Yeah,
So I mean,
that's a
so to
bad
me,
lineup, man.
That's a bad lineup.
Now, it's not like Rojas, Stott, and Kepler are giving you much more to his point. It's just when I see that, when I'm reading that, I go, man, that's not a good lineup.
Here's the one thing I'm going to say, and by the way, this hurts me to say it because I really enjoy this person and I enjoy this player. Anytime I cross paths, I enjoy this person. I'm out on Bryson Stott.
Out.
I am out with a capital O as far as moving forward. The 2026 Phillies cannot have Bryson Stott as an everyday player. We've seen enough. It's enough. The book's written. You've seen enough data.
Yeah, he's had a worse year this year
It's
than
like
last year.
it's the data is shown. He's not winning a batting title, so we got to stop with that. Remember, you were being told he was going to win a batting title.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the worst predictions ever offered on local media. And guess what? I've had my share, so I'm not trying to rip the people who
We've all
gave it.
been there.
I've had my share. But Bryson Stott, I'm done. I'm done with Bryson Stott moving forward. After this year, I'm done with him. And I absolutely would play Sosa more at second base.
Stott's
There's
got the
no
great.
question.
The platoon should happen.
No, but they just and don't tell me second base defense, because second base defense is on the, if you're going to be Mr. Analytics boy, it is one of the weakest positions that you're worried about defense.
I got
with.
you. No,
so I'm just saying is that, but there are some people who are like, well, he got to have his glove
I mean,
in the lineup.
he's a great glove, but so is
He's a great glove.
Edmundo Sosa. And this should be the 2022 Phillies when Bryson Stott was not guaranteed a starting spot. We should be. The guy's hitting 234.
No,
he's not having a good year.
He's lost it. He's lost.
And that's a shame because,
And occasionally
to your
he-
point, he's a great guy. And
I like it, and I hate to say it, but I can't not.
He's got
say
a
it.
303 on base percentage. Like, he's almost below 300 getting on base. That's horrible.
It's bad. It's really bad, and they keep giving him up. I think they've given him way too much grace. I really do. And I'll tell you this, if there was a veteran second baseman on the market, I'd take one. A right-handed bat second baseman, I would take one in a second on the trade market. That's one
They'll
nobody
probably
talks about.
platoon Stott and so that's probably what the plan.
But that's
will
something
end up
no
being.
one's talking about.
No.
Go find me a veteran second baseman. I'd be fine with that because I'm off Bryson Stott. I hate to say it because I am. I'm a personal fan, and I'm a fan. I don't want to say it, but I'm done. At the trade deadline, I can say that definitively. 2026 cannot include him as an everyday player.
All right. What was your goal again? Just remind me. 'Cause I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
My goal was 195. And by the way, right now, 202.
Oh, you're getting there. That's good.
202.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
Feeling good.
For the Phillies,
Yes.
you wanted a certain record for each 6 games.
Oh, no. The goal was a 3-3 road trip, 4-2 homestand, a 3-3 road trip. They didn't give it to me. They gave me a 2-4 road trip, a 4-2 homestand,
So you got the homestand.
and then they gave me
Another 2 and 4.
Another 2-4. The road trip sucked. This was a terrible road trip.
It was not fun.
No, it was terrible.
It was
They
not
played.
fun.
That's a bad week of baseball.
Yeah.
That was a bad week of baseball.
Yeah. All right.
And
so
there's no other way to
haven't-
spin it.
They haven't
No,
given you
didn't.
the goals.
They didn't deliver it. But again, they enter into the All-Star break. I got to tell you, again, if in September, the last week of September, they're still fighting to clinch the division, they wasted such an opportunity here because the Mets have played garbage baseball for 6 weeks, and you're a half game up on them.
Well, the Phillies played garbage baseball for their own 6-week period.
Yeah, but the Mets have reasons. The Mets have a starting rotation that has been hobbled, like terribly gutted, and the Phillies just have puttered around.
They absolutely have.
66, though, a magic number of 66. They're going to have that magic number probably to 55 by the time we turn to August.
Sure.
Oh, my gosh. Like, they're sitting in a perfect position. But what's it mean?
Yeah, they
What's
have
it
to.
mean?
They have to jump on this opportunity.
This is a bad division. It's a bad division.
What do we got in the text line, Connor?
So Ben in Bucks County checks in and says, if I'm going to trade a player like Aiden Miller, Crawford, or Painter, I need to get a player that we have under control for at least the next 3 to 4 years, or else it isn't worth it on our end.
Well, and some of these players are under control. Maybe
3 to
not
4
3 to
years,
4
though?
years,
Yeah,
but
that's
you're
a
going to
lot.
have some guys that will be under control for multiple. It's not just rentals. And so when you get top players who aren't rentals, it's going to cost more. The question is, do you believe in this team to win something when you acquire those players? So coming up next, we'll go through the big names that were mentioned over the weekend, how much control they have, and we'll talk about the prospects, whether or not you'd be willing to move on from them. We'll get to your calls as well. If you are Dave Dombrowski, are you going all in with this Phillies team? Now that we've reached the All-Star break and we have a lot of information surrounding this team, have you seen enough to say, yes, I'm going all in? Because I still am. I can't waste this pitching staff. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Another strong start for Sanchez. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies head into the All-Star break after a win, a 2-1 victory over the Padres out in San Diego yesterday. Christopher Sanchez, 7 1/3 innings of 1-run ball to cap off a stellar first part of the season. And Rob Thompson talked about the work that he's put in this year.
I'm just so proud of him from where he started and where he's at right now. Not just stuff, but command, poise, and composure.
He's certainly been a bright spot this season with a record of 55-41 at the break. The Phils, despite losing the last 2 series, hold a half-game lead over the New York Mets in the NL East. They're going to be back in action on Friday night when the Los Angeles Angels come to town. All-Star break, though, so Kyle Schwarber is the only guy to watch down there in Atlanta. He is the Phillies' only attending All-Star. The MLB draft also started last night with the Phillies selecting Gage Wood in the first round. You might remember Wood from his no-hitter for Arkansas in this year's College World Series. The Sixers' next Summer League game is tomorrow night against the Wizards. We'll keep you updated on the status of VJ Edgecombe, who has the thumb sprain. Eagles are just 8 days away from reporting to training camp. This update is brought to you by the local Rheem Pro partners at thereemteam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Rheem. Stay cool with a high-efficiency AC system from Rheem, R-H-E-E-M. Find your Rheem Pro partner at thereemteam.com. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Texting. Before we get to our texts and our calls, just real quick so that people know, because the reports came out, Friday, later on in the day? Friday was after you guys were off the air, if I'm not mistaken. The big Jeff Passan reports about who the Phillies could be in on? Or were you guys on the air when those came out?
No, they came in.
I think we were done already.
I think it happened in the afternoon because I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, damn, these guys didn't get a chance to talk about this. And so here we are Monday morning. And the reports from Jeff Passan and multiple other national reporters, to the point that you were making earlier, John, that national reporters are saying it, but maybe not the teams, not the reporters that cover the teams that are involved.
So in other words, maybe the national reporters are getting fed something directly by the team that wants the word out there that they're in on it.
So,
and that could be.
It could be. So with the Guardians, the two players that have been mentioned the most have been Stephen Kwan, who is a tremendous hitting outfield, not power hitting outfielder, but a guy that will bat around 300 for you, a guy that you could bat either at the top of your order or somewhere in the bottom of the order, wherever you can find him fit. I like guys getting on base at the top of the order, so it would be nice to put him up there. And then the reliever, Emmanuel Clase, who has not been having the best season, but he is a tremendous arm talent. And you just hope that, he can sort of return to form that we have seen in the past, sometimes changes scene. Actually, he's got a 2.91 ERA this year. It's gone down a lot. Sorry.
It has gone down a lot.
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago it was a 3.58, so it's gone down a lot. But Emmanuel Clase's got a ton of arm talent. And he could be a closer for you.
Clase is one that I'd be interested in.
Oh,
absolutely.
You should absolutely be interested
absolutely
in him.
interested. Well, again, price. I'm interested.
I got you. Now, here's what's...
He's a guy that's shown when the lights are bright.
Sure.
I'm not sure I want him.
Here's what would add to the price, to your point. Kwan, not a free agent until 2028. So you would get him for the remainder of this season, 26 and 27. He's still on his arbitration years. Clase, not a free agent until 2029. You would have him this year, 26, and then a club option in 27 and 28, which, by the way, that would probably even add to the price because it's a club option. Because if he does fall apart, you have every say on whether or not you want to keep him on the team. So those are the two players with the Guardians that are being mentioned.
Well, another left-handed bat, though, with Kwan?
Yeah, but he's a guy that bats around 300 playing every day.
He's more of an average guy.
Okay,
it's
so
not boom or bust one side.
Yeah, but you got no pop, and you got left and another left-handed bat.
That's when you hope that the right-handed power bat is one of those other marginal moves that you can make. Now, the other team that we've heard a lot of recently is the Minnesota Twins. Mm-hmm. And we know all about Yohan Duran, who is just electric.
He's awesome.
Electric from the bullpen. I would love for him to be on the Phillies. He would be expensive. Not only would he be the best closer on the market, he is not a free agent until 2028. So you would have him under control for the next 2.5 years. Another name with the Twins. Now, his injuries scare me. Is Byron Buxton.
I told Connor the other day, I said, pack your stuff and get out. I'm like, get out. We do not need Embiid.
Yeah.
We do not need Embiid.
He is very talented.
He's incredibly talented.
Always hurt.
Do you want to know how bad it is? Because Dork Boy did this.
He's played over 100 games twice, twice in his career.
Do you know how bad it's been since the COVID partial season?
Okay.
So since the COVID season, what percentage of available games has he played in?
40.
52.4% of his available games he's played in. 21, 22, 23, 24.
And he's great. And he's great in those available games.
Oh, it's great when he's available, but he only
for
plays.
the cycle this weekend.
He is constantly
that means nothing to me.
hurt.
Come on.
He is constantly hurt.
So I saw didn't Weston Wilson hit for the cycle?
I said that last week. It means nothing.
To me.
It means nothing. Weston
David
Wilson
Bell hit for a cycle.
Right, Weston Wilson can do it. This guy plays. He is Joel Embiid without as much talent, without as much track record, without an MVP.
And he's 31.
And what are you doing? You're going to get an aging guy who can't be available? Here's his games played. Last year, 102. Boy, that was his high water mark. Year before, 85. Year before, 92. Year before, 61. He is constantly. He is made of. He's made of cheap plastic.
And it's a shame because he's a tremendous baseball player when healthy, but that's a major if, and that's literally the conversation, to your point about Embiid, that we have with the Sixers all the time.
Anybody says Buxton to you, no. Point them to the door. Say, we're going to trade our top prospects for Byron Buxton. The Twins would go, yes, please. Yes, please.
Well, now, hold on a second. As you're listening to 97.5, The Fanatic, WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It's like I never left. I just went boom right off the top.
Yeah, that was smooth. You were smooth yesterday on the network, too.
Thank you. If you're getting Duran And part of the trade is the Twins eat some of the money. Now I don't know. This is just speculation, so I don't know because he is still they signed him to a big contract. Like he's getting paid a lot of money.
Not that much. He's owed $15 a year for the next 3.
Right, but it's still what 6 years left on his contract.
it's a lot.
No, it's only for Buxton. Team control for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not as bad as you think.
Okay.
Well, when he's available for half the games, it's as bad as you think. When he's available to play just half the time, it is as bad as you
scary
think. Or
thing.
you could bring up, oh, wait a minute. If only you had like a top prospect who across Major League Baseball is one of the best center field prospects in the game, defensively and at the plate, that you could have under team control for 7 years. Oh, wait a minute. You have one of those.
He doesn't do the same things that Buxton does at the plate in terms of pop.
He does not. But you know what he does?
He plays.
He plays. He's available to play.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, let's get some more Phillies fans here. You can text and you can call in 610-632-0975. If you were Dave Dombrowski, are you going all in with the team that you have? And by all in, we mean trading top prospects for the names that we just gave you, if they are indeed available. Guys that are under control for multiple years, but it's going to cost you a lot. Let's go to Rick and Easton. Rick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Gentlemen,
What's
up, Rick?
you know I love you guys, and I agree with so much of what you're saying, and you just called me at the right time. I'm going to call this. I did this. I called you guys last year. I've been beating this drum for a year now. I'm going to call this go big or go home. I totally agree with a kid who I thought was going to be the baller in Bryson Stott. I agree 100%. That ship, I believe, has sailed. And, boy, he has a great swing and a great approach sometimes, but it's not working. So here's what I'm going to say, guys. And now I'm hearing talk show hosts talk about it, and I'm wondering what my idea wasn't good a year ago. You got to create a gauntlet like L.A., like the Dodgers have with Betts, Ohtani, and with Freeman, and the same with the Mets at the top of their order with Lindor and Soto and Alfonso. Listen, J-Roll, Utley, Howard,
Loved
Schmidt,
him in the Fresh
Lizinski,
Prince.
Boa. It's not those 6 guys were so much better and showed so much more promise than Painter, Crawford, Miller. I have seen Painter. I can't believe what you said about Painter. I've seen Painter. I live in Easton. I see Painter pitch at Lehigh Valley the last 4 times. He doesn't have what they think he has yet. You got to go get Rooker. You got to go get Miller. I trust Kirkring and Strom as setup relievers for Miller, and for Miller to be your closer. You got to go big or go home. Guys, I'm telling you now, with these 3 starters, the Phillies, before they got good in 2008 and 1980, they didn't have 3 starters like they have on this team now. So they weren't going to trade the Utleys and the Howards to get better. They didn't need to. This team is set up right now with great starting pitching.
But they don't have the lineup, Rick.
Yeah, but
Rick, they don't have the
But to
lineup.
Rick's point, he wants to add to the lineup and go all in.
What are you going and getting, Rick? What do you like? Seriously, what are we getting in this lineup?
I want Rooker as my right-handed batter, and I want Schwarber and Rooker back to back in the lineup.
Yeah,
and
that strikes fear. And thanks for the call, Rick.
Now that would be delicious.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
That strikes fear. And
I would love that.
To his point, and that's what I've been saying since.
You think you're getting Rooker?
I mean, I don't know.
You think he's available?
I don't even know if he's available. Right. So it's easy to just say, but I don't think anybody's untouchable. I think a lot of it for the right price, right? But to his point, going back to that Astros series, which was 3 weeks ago, because you and I were working together. 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
I made the claim that this is why I have to go all in at the trade deadline, because I watched 3 starting pitchers throw maybe a combined 21 innings and give up 3 earned runs, and the team's offense put up 1 run that entire series. And I can't waste the starting pitching staff that I have of Wheeler, Suarez, Sanchez, Luzardo. Who knows what Nola is when he comes back? I can't waste what I have every single night in the playoffs, at least in a first-round series where you only need 3 stars. I can't waste that. It's too good.
Brent Rooker is under control by the A's until 20. He's not a free agent until 2031.
Yeah, you'd have to give up like everything.
And the A's are going to. The A's are planning. They're building that stadium in Vegas. That's why they put the stakes in the ground. Why would they be giving up Rooker? Why did they want to do that?
To hope to get 3 or 4 guys
cheap.
that they can have.
He's cheap and he's great. And more importantly, they only have a couple of years till they move to Vegas.
Right. No, they probably won't.
And by the way, they're having an uptick season where they're feeling better about where they're at. So why are they they're not doing that? They're not.
They might not.
They're not doing that. They're not doing that for Aiden Miller, who's having a down year.
But what Rick wants to do basically is go all in. So forget Rooker for a second. He just wants to go all in because he doesn't want to waste this rotation, which is exactly where I'm at when it comes to this baseball team.
No. I get you, and I get the sentiment, but other people have to want to do it too.
Right.
I mean, and that's the bottom
Dave
line.
Dombrowski has to want to do it, and he better do it, or we're going to have problems.
That's it.
Like the day after the trade deadline, if it's a week one, oh boy. All right, coming up next. There are words that we can't say on the air due to FCC rules, Johnny.
John learned about that
I learned one last week.
Can't wait to hear about that coming up.
By the way, that
next.
isn't one of the words, but still, we still.
I missed this, so I can't wait to hear about that coming up next. But also, there's a new word you can't say in NovaCare. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like Groundhog Day because you keep hearing the same old tired
by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app and play all your favorite casino games. BetParks has a great offer for new users. Got to be 21, Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, so what troublemaking was done while I was away?
John said a no word.
I said, imagine somebody was on a run and had to go into a parking garage and then relieve themselves on an awning.
Yes.
That word. The shh word. I said it. I was upset that I was upset with Crossing Broad with a headline. They tried to, with a headline, pretend like there was some beef between me and Kevin Cooney.
Oh, I actually read that.
And Kevin Cooney, now look, Kevin Cooney and I have plenty of beef on sports opinions.
Right, but it's that. And
but
that
we have no beef personally. In fact, I think Kevin Cooney's nuts, and Kevin Cooney would put me into it absolutely sign me in to a rubber room himself. But we have no problem. We had a very wonderful we talked 10 minutes on the phone the other day, a nice little conversation about something. And whenever I need to know something about reporter type stuff, I always will sort of gauge his opinion on something because I know I tons of respect. But it was the headline was sort of uh-oh. They love to paint there's wars out there going on or battles going on.
Right.
Kevin and I love to tweak each other.
Right.
And it is all about the opinion. And by the way, all about the opinion, I think Kevin's certifiably nuts and he returns the favor.
Right, absolutely.
But that's where it ends. We don't need a beer summit. We don't need it. We totally understand each other. I think he's absolutely out of left field nuts, and he agrees. So same thing when he looks at me.
How did the sheesh word?
I said because sometimes there are outlets that will just try to start that will just print that. No, that will just print that. Shh.
Okay.
And I was a little.
So you were heated.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, look.
Not even. It was actually a pretty low key one.
No, it was low key. It just came out of my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just because to me is that look, stop with that stuff. And the thing is,
stop with that what? Say it, John.
And then it was again. Stop with that what? Say it with your chest, John. Then it was well, thankfully, and then the response from Kevin was, well, thankfully, I didn't write that in the article. And I was like, well, I didn't even bother to read the article because the headline was so misleading. I didn't even bother to read the article, and I read Crossing Broad stuff every day. I love their stuff. Yeah. I love their stuff. They do great stuff. But the misleading headline stuff, I don't need.
Okay.
Especially about us or whatever.
Now,
I just don't need it.
Now, here's a headline.
What's that?
From Dave Zangaro and NBC Sports Philadelphia.
I love Dave Zangaro.
The new bad word inside the Eagles NovaCare complex. Do you guys want to take a guess at what that bad word is?
Oh. I'm going to pass.
All right, I will say it is FCC regulated.
Okay, then I'll play.
Okay.
Super Bowl?
John, do you have a guess on what the new bad word at the NovaCare complex is?
You said Super Bowl.
Is that 2 words?
Connor, the Connor, when you say that, are you referring to last year's?
Either or. Take care of today. Maybe one step climbing the mountain at a time, Nick Sirianni.
Man, you sound like Jalen Hurts right now.
Okay, Connor's not bad with that one because that's sort of where I was going. It's not a word, but I was going to say 2024.
Yeah, you're overthinking it.
Okay.
Connor's close. Repeat.
Okay, it's a great word.
The word repeat should not be said inside NovaCare. Here's a quote from Sirianni. Every time we talk about this topic, we're talking about sustained success. I think they understand what that is. A lot of these guys have had sustained success, right? They know it's not anything they've done in their past, and it's not them looking forward to the future. It's about being what they are right now. I think that's kind of our daily message with them. And that's kind of what you were saying, Connor, here we are, take one day at a time, climb the mountaintop, all that kind of stuff. He's talking about how it's a marathon and not a sprint. But the word repeat is now a bad word, and maybe they put it on a sign somewhere. Because Nick Sirianni would put down a sign somewhere.
He loves his signage. Now, I'm just worried if a player doesn't hear Sirianni say something the first time, how do they ask him to repeat
Can you please repeat yourself?
See, that's going to be tricky.
I think you could say it.
No, I like this mentality out of them, and they've held to this since pretty much 5 seconds after winning the Super Bowl.
Well, and look, if you think about it, and I understood why they were doing it, the three-peat, right, with the Chiefs, that's all that was being said. They were saying it. Like, remember after they won the Super Bowl in 2024, their parade, they started saying three-peat at the Super Bowl parade.
All right, I'll speak out of turn here and just that I won't attribute it to anybody. I know there were Eagles players that were pissed about the documentary that was being filmed about the Chiefs.
I'm sure.
That they thought, okay, yeah, that's your documentary? Well, we're about to ruin it.
We're going to ruin it, yeah.
We're about to ruin it.
When is that comes out this summer? Has that come out yet?
I think it's already come out, didn't it?
That shows how much TV.
I don't know.
I don't think anybody wants to watch it now.
Well, I want to watch the final episode.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch it from the back. Yes.
I absolutely want to watch the final episode. But I'm glad that is a mentality that they have. I think that's smart.
I think it's really nice. I've heard that from teams before, and it is hard.
It's absolutely
because, like, to me, if I was Nick Sirianni, I would say opening press conference of the summer. You can ask us about last year. You can ask us about last year, everything like that, and then it's over.
Well, and I remember you said the exact same thing last year following the 2023 debacle.
Yes, say it. That's there.
It could be for both positive or negative. To your point,
Right.
like, we don't have to keep on going back to the Super Bowl thing. Now, every once in a while, you can bring up the how is it different this year conversation, because there will be differences, not just from a roster standpoint,
right,
but how bodies are feeling, because they played into February, which means they have a shorter window of resting their bodies for the next offseason. How many times have we talked about Saquon Barkley and his usage and how it should be different this year to try to conserve his body for the stretch run again? So there will be stuff to pinpoint from this year to last year and how things are different. But for the most part, you're right, John. Like, they shouldn't go down memory lane. It's what's ahead.
It's counterproductive, because I saw the Falcons in 2018 trying to say, we're going to get back. We're going to get back and fix the mistake that we made in that Super Bowl. We're going to get back, and we're going to do that. And players, Dan Quinn tried to get them off that topic, and the players just wouldn't have it. They were
wouldn't?
like, we're going to get back. No, we're going to get back. We're going to fix that mistake.
Right.
And they were that close to beating the Eagles and getting back to the NFC title game. And then,
we saw what ended up happening.
Didn't happen.
Absolutely. All right, coming up next. So I was at the mothership this weekend. I found out, Johnny, that the tide is changing on the Super Bowl MVP. I'll talk more about it with you guys next. It's Kincade and Salciunas. We'll get your text messages as well on the Phillies here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils make it to the break. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies head into the All-Star break with a win yesterday, a 2-1 victory over the Padres out in San Diego. Christopher Sanchez, a huge part of that victory. 7 1/3 innings of one-run ball on the mound for him, capping off a stellar first part of the season. Rob Thompson, he talked after the game about how proud he is about one of his star pitchers.
I'm just so proud of him from where he started and where he's at right now. Not just stuff, but command, poise, and composure.
Sanchez, Wheeler, Suarez, all great pre-All-Star break portions of their schedule, and with a record of 55-41 at the break, the Phils, despite losing the last two series, hold a half-game lead over the Mets in the NL East. They'll be back in action on Friday when the Los Angeles Angels come down. Kyle Schwarber will be their only All-Star actually playing in the game in Atlanta. The MLB draft also started last night with the Phillies selecting Gage Wood in the latter part of the first round. You might remember Wood from his no-hitter for Arkansas in this year's College World Series. Sixers' next Summer League game is tomorrow night against the Wizards. We'll see if VJ Edgecombe is back on the court. We'll keep you updated on that. And the Eagles are just 8 days away from reporting to training camp. This update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that's built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The summer's here.
7:25 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. So I was at the ESPN headquarters this past weekend.
Exit 31 and off 81.
It was beautiful, first and foremost. So everything that you said to me before I went, because you made that trip multiple times, that and some.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
And in the middle of a community. Like
Yeah.
you don't expect.
Right. So I'm following my GPS, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I got to turn now.
It comes out of nowhere.
Right, because there's like houses and all this kind of.
Yes,
Like you would
exactly.
think it would be in a secluded area.
Is the driving range still there, real close by, right down the street?
Yes, the driving range is still there. They have a putting green on the campus, by the
Oh,
way.
nice.
which-
Do they really have the players walking around in full uniform like in the commercials?
And then
no,
the
I was
mascots-
walking around in full uniform in my
Mascots,
Sunday
they did
league
not.
uniform.
Yeah, Connor, they didn't have that either.
Damn it. Thought that was real.
But it was really freaking cool. So a couple of things that I learned this weekend, John.
Yes. Well, I was pissed that you learned that the gift shop's closed since COVID.
Yes.
What the
gift
hell's
shops,
going on with that?
It's just the way that it is.
COVID's been over forever if they haven't found out in Connecticut yet.
Well, it's closed. A couple things I learned while I was away. New Haven pizza, everything that it's cracked out to be.
Yeah.
Everything. It's the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
It's delicious.
Best pizza I've ever had in my life.
Really?
So if you ever
Okay.
make the trip to New Haven for pizza, it is the best. Mm-hmm. Number two, everybody that rips Jersey drivers, Connecticut drivers, far worse.
Okay.
I mean, horrible. And if you're going 75, they're going zoom, 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 zoom. I saw two motorcycles going 100 miles an hour.
Oh, jeez.
Right past the cop. They didn't care. Unbelievable.
And the cop didn't care?
Cop was like, I ain't catching them.
Okay, did you going to tell people about New Haven, though? You just told them to go get pizza there.
Yes.
You're going to tell them.
Stay somewhere else.
Stay, go get your pizza in the daylight hours.
Yes. And stay
and then,
somewhere else.
And then go.
Found that out.
Come and go. New Haven is not where you want to be in Connecticut.
Found that out. Did not know that until this weekend.
You do not want to be in New Haven, Connecticut.
It was fun going to get my car one morning and caution tape and crime scene and bullet cases on the ground.
Yeah, not good. What did you do that night?
But lastly, what I learned is that the tide is changing on Jalen Hurts. Now, it's a weird place that we're in, but forget the Chris Sims of the world,
okay?
Right? Where this guy is clearly has an opinion and does not want to be wrong.
And he's going to double down on it.
Exactly. But doing a couple of days of national radio in Bristol and talking to people on and off air, right? It's not just an on-air, off-air thing, or on-air thing, off-air as well. The tide is starting to shift on Jalen Hurts a little bit. If you remember, the people that still doubt him, it's look at the roster around him. No wonder he's playing so well. Anyone can play well on that team, which that is still a theory. Like, I do believe that if Joe Burrow played for the Eagles, he would put up probably 5,000 yards.
Do you think Joe Burrow could win a Super Bowl with this team?
Absolutely.
You think that
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson,
right, exactly.
Patrick Mahomes.
So, in other words, can we just put that on the shelf? We all agree?
Yeah.
Nobody's disagreeing on that.
That other top quarterbacks
could win, yeah.
Could win.
Yes.
So, one of the most amazing moments took place. Resident Super Bowl champion Chris Kincade.
Chris Kincade, baby.
You hear that promo play all the time.
If you're up early like we are.
Right. He has Jalen Hurts in his top 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League. And he thinks he's solidified to the point where if a guy like Jaden Daniels replicates what he did in year 1, in year 2, he would put him in the top 5 and take out another quarterback like a Joe Burrow or even a Lamar Jackson, because Lamar does it a lot in the regular season, but we've not seen it in the playoffs. It is undeniable what Jalen Hurts does in the playoffs. So undeniable to the point where now national media people are going, I may not think that he's got the greatest arm talent, which, hey, I don't think he's got the greatest arm talent. Man, he might not be the fastest dual threat quarterback. Look at Lamar Jackson. I mean, Jalen Hurts is not compared to Lamar's speed. But it is undeniable that this guy wins.
Do you know anybody in football who you think throws a better deep pattern?
I mean, Mahomes is pretty good at it.
No, but
Lamar
better.
is pretty good at it.
Better. I don't think better.
He drops it in the
he
bucket.
He has a beautiful.
Yeah, he does.
There's guys
when they let him unleash.
There's guys in the intermediate passing game that I would take above Hurts.
Yes, because it's the quick release.
But his side, his dropping it in the bucket on the sideline.
No,
pattern
he's
and
tremendous at it.
His over the shoulders passing and everything. There's things that he does in the passing game that I say he's as good as any quarterback in the game. There's other things that I go, no, he's not.
Right.
But, you know.
And that's why I have those four quarterbacks, the Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, and Burrow, in a class of their own. But
absolutely.
I've Hurts right there with them.
But that's not a slam on Hurts or anything.
No, it's not.
That's high praise.
Fifth is pretty good. Being a top five quarterback is pretty good.
And Chris Canty, by the way, good credit to Chris, because Chris Canty changed his opinion and publicly has said, I've changed my opinion on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has proven me wrong.
Well, and now I got that sense that there's a lot of people that are doing that.
Okay, really?
And there are some people that are still going to do the whole anybody could win on that team.
Which I just think is such a bad take.
And because, as you have said numerous times, every top quarterback, except for Brady and Mahomes,
Brady
because those guys are the GOATs.
Tenure, yeah.
Yes, right.
Brady won 3 Super Bowls on his defense.
Right.
Remember, 3 of his rings were won by a defense that was dominating.
Right. But when we talk about these two GOAT quarterbacks, there's a reason why they're the GOAT, because even though Mahomes had Tyreek Hill for some time, we've seen him go to the Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill. We saw Tom Brady go to the Super Bowl with James White, as his best weapon, as a running back, right? That's what sets those two guys apart in terms of the history of the sport. But all these other quarterbacks, these top quarterbacks that we've talked about, had historic wide receivers, or at the time were the best wide receiver. When we talk about Jalen Hurts and, oh, my God, look at the weapons that he has. Look at the weapons that Joe Burrow has, right? He's got Jamar Chase, who may be the best wide receiver in football. Chase versus Justin Jefferson is normally the conversation. He also has a great secondary wide receiver in T. Higgins,
and
right?
You're never going to hear Joe Burrow's weapons talked about as to why Joe Burrow is great.
No, because there was an opinion about Joe Burrow coming out of college that Jalen Hurts didn't have. And it's that he was going to be the next big quarterback.
Yeah, and that Joe Burrow, too, has proven, too, that he does it. The one thing I would say is that when they talk about the weapons that Jalen Hurts has, Jalen Hurts, the number one weapon he has is that offensive line.
Absolutely, and that's something that Joe Burrow
does not have.
Right. But it's something that Jared Goff has, right? Correct. Jared Goff has an incredible offensive line and has incredible weapons. Well, yeah, a couple guys are leaving. It's just interesting that.
So you do believe you felt a vibe up in Bristol?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that just straight up said I was wrong about him before, and look, I was wrong about him. I didn't think he was going to be what he is now. It's just we are so close to it because we do this every single day that we've seen maybe the growth from Jalen Hurts before people on the outside. But let's not act like there weren't questions just
like you wanted Russell
year.
Wilson.
Yes, I was all about it because I liked the way this roster was set up.
Right, exactly.
And this is before Russell Wilson became,
You didn't see the Russell Wilson decline coming.
Bronco country, let's ride, or whatever the hell he said.
Let's ride.
And Mr. Unlimited, when he became really, really, really weird.
Kooky. Yeah, he's kooky, all right. No, but you know what, though? I like that, I like that all of us can change an opinion. And it's fun to change an opinion.
Yeah.
And because we should be able to change opinions and just admit that, we shouldn't have done that.
Absolutely.
But I never wanted Russell Wilson. But I was also, you wanted Russell Wilson. I was on here saying, I'm clearly on the fence about Jalen Hurts. One leg straddling I'm in his camp. One leg straddling, I could be convinced to go another direction. I need to see from him, but I didn't want to move on from him.
Right.
I'm damn glad that I didn't. We didn't.
Now, here's the beauty of talk radio.
Okay.
I can start the segment talking about, New Haven Pizza, but how I learned that the tide is changing nationally for Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
And as this segment is going on, I see the tweet from Jeremy Fowler.
What's Jeremy saying now?
Jeremy Fowler does his annual executives, coaches, and scout rankings where the people inside the league rank skill groups, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and, of course, quarterbacks.
Okay.
So this isn't ESPN radio hosts rank quarterbacks. This isn't Andrew Salciunas and John Kincade rank quarterbacks. This is the people that work for teams, are part of the coaching staffs of teams. And I just saw the top 10 list.
Okay, where did he end up? Are you teasing?
I will give that to you coming up next. And also coming up next, you are going to give us statistics, a new one that dropped. I saw it this weekend as well, about just how efficient Jalen Hurts is.
No, this one, and as a Jalen Hurts fan, this one shocked me. Like, it floored me. Because I would have bet anything I had that it wasn't true.
Interesting.
I would have bet this isn't true. And it's totally true.
This is a great chart for the Hurts doubters or Hurts haters.
Oh, man.
But maybe we need to send this chart to the executives and coaches and scouts in the NFL.
Yep.
It's Kincade and Salciunas on this Monday morning here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer's here, and you know what that means.
coaches and scouts rankings because it's not his own personal. It's not the team of ESPN. It's not the Football Power Index, FPI, computer analyzed it. It's the people that work inside football. Where would they rank certain quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers? And, of course, quarterback is always the one that gets the most conversation. So one of the cool things about this list, in case people have not read this before in the previous years that Jeremy Fowler has done it, he not only has the ranking of where they end up going, but not every executive and coach and scout has the same ranking. Like, I may have Jalen Hurts as the 5th best quarterback. The next person might have him 10th. So what he does is he'll find the average, but he'll also put in the article where the highest ranking was.
Okay.
And where the lowest ranking was. And so that also adds to conversation. Like, Patrick Mahomes is once again number 1 on this list. Okay? He was number 1 last year. He was number 1 the year before. He's number 1 this year. The lowest ranking that somebody actually did give him was 4th.
Okay, so
now I don't. So the guys that got highest ranking won: Josh Allen, even though he finished 2nd; Joe Burrow,
okay,
even though he finished 3rd; Lamar Jackson, even though he finished 4th.
I have no gripe with any of those. Even though Lamar Jackson, every time he's given a chance on the big stage, has not delivered.
Right.
He is flat out not delivered.
And Mahomes has always delivered, except for, against the Eagles in this past Super Bowl.
Yeah. The Eagles' last Super Bowl, he did not.
Right.
That's the first time I've ever seen him just gag.
Yeah. Look
human. Yes.
To put him 4th, even if you didn't put him 1st, but you put him like 2nd, okay. To put him 4th is like, you're insane.
Asinine.
You're insane. You're just trying to. But then again, these aren't media people. This isn't hot take. This is coaches.
Well,
it
could be agenda driven.
It could be.
It could be. I don't like the guy.
So Josh Allen comes in at number 2. Joe Burrow comes in at number 3. Lamar comes in at number 4.
Okay.
So that's your 1 through 4. And again, I think that is the undeniable top 4. Like, I don't think Jalen Hurts, as much as I love him, can't crack those top 4. Even though he's won a Super Bowl and he's been to 2 Super Bowls, if we're talking individual talent, those 4 guys are still ahead of Jalen Hurts for me.
I got to tell you, I think Lamar should be ahead of Burrow. Myself.
The only thing I keep on going, remember I said this last year, I think Burrow should have gotten more MVP votes because even though the Bengals were a horrible team, if Joe Burrow's not that quarterback, they win 2 games.
I got you, but that
defense was that.
But
bad.
I always say when a bad team, I don't want an MVP on a bad team. Because to me, a bad team could be a bad team without an MVP.
But you're somebody that follows the terminology of something, most valuable player.
Yes, because
right?
to me, a most valuable player there was a time, you guys are too young for it. There was a time when Andre Dawson won the MVP for the last place Cubs.
Okay.
I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. I'm like, okay, the Cubs could have finished in last place without Andre Dawson. I thought it was absolutely absurd that they would give an MVP to a last place team player because if he wasn't on that team, what would they have done?
They would have lost.
Could they have finished in last place?
They would have probably lost 30 more games.
But who cares? They're in last place.
Okay.
They still didn't win anything. And to me, I think Lamar has shown more than Joe Burrow. He has more accomplishments than Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I would put Lamar a little ahead of Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Just slightly.
Number 5, Jaden Daniels.
Oh, that's so freaking stupid.
Number 6.
No. You're going to say it. You're going to say his name, and it's going to drive me nuts.
No, this one might not drive me nuts.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford.
Okay, is this the History Channel? Because, I'm a big Matthew Stafford fan, and I'm also...
By the way, his highest ranking, somebody put him at 4.
Okay, I could see...
I can't see him in the top 4 with those 4 other quarterbacks.
No, but I could see Matthew Stafford being in that neighborhood. So
okay.
I'm not offended by it, but wow. It must be the History Channel.
Number 7.
Don't tell me.
Justin Herbert.
Oh, there it is.
Because he's the prototype.
I'm waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Now, here's the funniest thing.
What's that?
Highest ranking. Somebody put him 3rd.
That's so stupid.
Somebody says that Justin Herbert is the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL.
It's just
somebody felt comfortable saying that. Lowest ranking, unranked. So that's why he's 7th, because you have somebody as high as 3, but then you have somebody outside the top 10. Jared Goff comes in at number 8. Highest ranking 5.
Yeah.
Lowest ranking unranked.
Jared Goff absolutely should be on that list. And Jared Goff, by the way, his resume is completely blows away Justin Herbert's. Blows it away. He should be ahead of Justin Herbert on every list.
Jalen Hurts doesn't come in until 9.
Wow.
And so if
the
you
way
were-
you teased it, I thought
9.
wow.
So if you remember when we had Pete Prisco on not long ago, and Pete did his top 100 players list, and Hurts was in like the 50s, which is fine, but it was the quarterbacks he was behind that we were like, come on, Pete, really? He said to us, if you asked any coach or executive, they would not take Jalen Hurts over player XYZ. And now Pete Prisco doesn't just do it off of his own opinion. Pete also talks to people around the league when he comes up with his list.
And he does.
And so we see here that coaches, executives, and scouts end up putting Hurts at 9. Now, what's amazing is the highest ranking was 6. So he didn't even get like a somebody said 3 or somebody said 4. The highest ranking that Jalen Hurts got from the people that are inside the league was 6th.
I'm not
By the way,
offended.
Baker Mayfield at 10.
I'm not offended at all by 6. Like, I'm not offended at all.
No, but I'm
by
just
6.
surprised that somebody could put Justin Herbert at 3
Well, I'm
and nobody could put Jalen Hurts at 5.
that's dopey as hell to me, but I'm not offended at all by Jalen Hurts coming in around 6 because last year when we did the exercise, we had him around 7th. And if you tell me Jalen Hurts if Jalen Hurts is a top 6 quarterback in the NFL, I'd say, sounds right.
Yeah, right. I have him at 5
Yeah, I'm
because
good
he
with that.
just won the Super Bowl MVP. Like,
But it
9.
sounds right.
9's kinda crazy.
9 doesn't sound right to me. And any list that Justin Herbert's ahead of him on is stupid. It's a stupid list.
And here's another one. Because
It's a stupid
he's
list.
once again ahead of him.
God, it's dumb.
The write-up for Jalen Hurts, Hurts' status is cemented. He's a Super Bowl winner who plays big in big moments. He's the most potent short yardage quarterback rusher in NFL history. His streak of 4 consecutive seasons with 10 or more rushing touchdowns is the league's longest ever for a passer. He's also one of the game's most accurate passers, ranking first in completion percentage over expected, plus 6.6. That's a deep in the weeds number. And he throws a beautiful deep ball, which is what you talked about,
I think he
John.
does. Yeah, I think he does.
Quote, he had a better year running the ball, and the way he played down the stretch when healthy was impressive, said an AFC executive who voted Hurts in the top 5. Then why was the highest ranking 6? Maybe the editors messed that one up a little bit. Better throwing the ball in general this year, and they cut down the turnovers. The question isn't whether Hurts belongs in the top 10. He undoubtedly does. It's whether he has the ability from the pocket to vault into the top 5 eventually, as his Super Bowl pedigree would suggest he could.
Can I say that I just don't care at this point now?
No, nobody should care about rankings.
I've seen what he can do, and I know what he can do, and I'm totally content with our quarterback.
Yeah.
That what he can do, but
Yeah, rank him wherever you want. Like, at this point, I don't even care.
within reason. Yes, within reason. Connor.
Yeah, don't put him at like 25th.
Put him at 25th. What do I
you're
care?
you're looking for the motivation factor.
Either that or whatever. He's going to win, whether you rank him highly or not. We're going to win. Like, the Eagles are still a great football team, so rank him wherever the hell.
I
don't
get you.
care.
Connie,
I got you.
I'm telling you this, when you were gone,
Show was
something
better.
happened when I was away on vacation. Connor has just started he's got this fastball going right now.
I think Andrew gives me contact dumb.
I think it's no, you're
Wow.
doing good, dude.
Wow. I see how it is.
kidding.
All
I
right.
missed you, buddy.
I see how it is.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Coming
Welcome
up
home.
next.
We're a loving bunch here.
How efficient has Hurts been? John Kincade has an incredible chart for us to talk about. And also, there's a big event tonight. How much do you care? It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
All-Star break time. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies are heading into the All-Star break, and they're going in on a win. Not of a series, but at least of a single game. They beat the San Diego Padres 2-1 yesterday afternoon. Christopher Sanchez went 7 1/3 innings, 1 earned run. He capped off a stellar first part of the season. And Rob Thompson discussed Sanchez's growth as a professional pitcher yesterday after the game.
I'm just so proud of him from where he started and where he's at right now. Not just stuff, but command, poise, and composure.
With a record of 55 and 41 at the break, the Phils, despite losing the last two series, hold a half-game lead over the Mets in the NL East. They're going to be back in action on Friday night when the Los Angeles Angels come to town. Kyle Schwarber, their only All-Star, actually playing in the game down in Atlanta on Tuesday. Tonight, home run derby for Major League Baseball. The MLB draft also started last night with the Phillies selecting Gage Wood, pitcher, in the first round. You might remember Wood from his no-hitter for Arkansas in this year's College World Series. Sixers' next Summer League game is tomorrow night against the Wizards. We'll see if BJ Edgecombe plays. And the Eagles are just 8 days away from reporting to training camp. This update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage for a limited time. Get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Do you feel...
It is 7:55 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Last day of that.
Oh, yeah. How about that? Tune in tomorrow.
Tune in tomorrow.
It's going to sound new around here.
Yeah. Connor, I'm sad to see it go.
Yeah, I'm real broken up about it.
Real quick before we get to your chart. YouTube, I missed you. I was gone for like 10 days, so it's good to be back and to be told that I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, you don't, but it's good to be told that. It's always good to hear that. It reinforces to us all.
Because, they hate hearing another list. Now, again, I find it interesting when it's like the people that are the coaches in the NFL and the executives.
You mean like general managers and executives?
Yeah, I find that.
They don't know what they're doing
I find that a little interesting.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. Those people, what do they know about football?
They know nothing.
Yeah, they don't know anything.
So a lot of people in our YouTube chat are saying, why are you talking about this when you could be talking about Gage Wood?
Oh, yes. Which, by the way, if you had asked any of the people asking you to talk about Gage Wood, they couldn't have told you about Gage Wood yesterday.
So I was going to save this for later in the show, but I'll just say it now because I just need to talk to my friends on our YouTube feed. Anybody that here locally is breaking down Gage Wood is lying to you.
Lying.
They know nothing about him. They know
they may have seen his great performance
the no-hitter
on one day.
Yes.
Yes.
So they know that.
They didn't watch SEC baseball.
No.
They didn't. They didn't watch the SEC network.
No.
SEC network has some of its lowest numbers in the Philly market, by the way. So they didn't watch it here.
No, they did not. So Gage Wood, everyone's excited because he was the first-round draft pick. He threw the no-hitter.
Break down Gage Wood
in the College World Series, which was an amazing feat. There's people that are wondering whether or not he could make the debut this year because the Phillies need bullpen help. It's happened only 24 times in Major League Baseball history where a player had been drafted and then made a debut later on that season for their respective ball club. The Phillies don't want to call up Justin Crawford.
The Phillies want to keep players. The Phillies want guys to be married with 2 kids before they bring them up most times. They're petrified. They're the Punxsutawney Phils.
Yep.
They're afraid of their own shadow. But no. Let's draft a guy and bring him up. Could it happen? Sure it could.
Sure it could.
It could happen.
It's just one of these things.
It would be awesome if it did.
You may think it's a waste of time to talk about executives and coaches and scouts and what they're saying about Jalen Hurts and other players in the NFL. I think it's a waste of time to talk about a player that we most likely will not see with the ball club this year.
You most likely won't probably see for 2 years.
Right. And by the way, it's great and all that he threw a no-hitter in the College World Series. That he'll always remember that for his life. His freshman year when he pitched for Arkansas, people don't know that he wasn't a starter. He was a reliever, and he had a 4.80 ERA. His second year with Arkansas, 22 games appeared, only 3 starts, 4.46 ERA. This was the first year where he became a starter for the Razorbacks, where he made 10 starts, had a decent season, 4-1 record, 3.82 ERA. ERAs in college baseball because of the metal bats, they're inflated.
Here's what I would tell you is Buck Ballou would tell me add 12. Add 1.2. That's what Buck would tell me.
Oh, add. Okay.
Buck, an SEC baseball Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
My old partner, he would tell you add 1.2. So if you're looking at numbers in the SEC, he would add to pitchers, add 1.2 to whatever, or take 1.2 away.
Right, because it's the SEC and it's the metal bats and all that kind of stuff. So he had a tremendous season.
So if he had a 4.2, that's more like a 3 ERA.
Right.
So it's like that's pretty good. He is a talented young pitcher, ready to step into the major leagues and get a. Look, this is a team that's afraid of its own shadow.
Right.
With its prospects.
And so that's why, and again, I'm not breaking down.
It would be great if he did. But
I'm not breaking down Gage Wood, mid-90s fastball and a curveball. I read an article. He's got a tight curveball that you probably looked back for 5 seconds on YouTube and you saw that.
Because you didn't know who Gage Wood was last night before you had dinner, and then after dinner, you became obsessed with Gage Wood.
Right.
Be honest. Let's do this.
And so
this isn't the NFL draft where you watched guys play for Ohio State,
correct, or
Texas,
or basketball,
Georgia, or whatever.
Right.
Or basketball where you watched a guy in March Madness put up 5 games where he was dominating or whatever. It's a difference, but that doesn't poo-poo the guy. His talent. This is a nice pick. It looks like, but I was just glad to see some firearms.
Yes,
Connor, I was thinking of you.
Yeah, I was thinking of the bullpen.
No, but the fire, I like it that they went that way.
Yeah, but it just shows you how dire the situation is for relievers, not just at the major league level, but in this organization.
Yeah, but I like that. Don't you like it?
I like what they did. I wish we weren't doing it. I wish after all this time, the Phillies had a bullpen that could at least sustain something to the point where you're not picking a guy that the fan base is saying the second after he gets drafted.
No.
That shows you how bad it is for the Phillies.
But do you like what they did?
Yeah, I like what they did. I don't like that they had to do what they did.
Okay, I like what they did. I'm happy they did it. I'm pleased they did it. Dave Dombrowski, I'm happy. But more importantly,
we don't even know if Gage Wood will ever pitch for the Phillies.
No, but
I'm not saying this year. I'm saying ever. He could be in a trade
I like the
year.
approach. I don't think you can have enough fireballing pitchers.
And look, he's a fiery guy too, which I like. We talked about how this team has no spunk to it.
What is he, the Rooster? What? No, seriously. He's got the. What do they call him? The Rooster. He's got a bird He's got a bird nickname. One of his nickname is I think he might be the Rooster.
I'll do some research.
I know
Give
it's
me
not
a second here.
The Big Dumper.
No, he's not the Big Dumper.
That's Cal Raleigh. Home run derby is tonight.
I heard you guys talking about him yesterday on the network.
Oh, how about that? By the way, Rooster is correct. Thank you, Brendan.
It is the Rooster.
Gunn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, BZ Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Real quick, tell us about the chart.
Okay, this is wild.
That you saw for Jalen Hurts.
Okay, so this is wild. A chart. Chart. If you're somebody who is into quarterback efficiency ratings. Okay, so this is how many times does your quarterback get you a productive play? Positive yardage. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, this is a quarterback stat that we then have to put to the whole offense, though, right? I mean, we're going to give credit to the whole offense. But we're talking the 2022, 2023, and 2024 seasons all included. Who is the quarterback who is most likely or least likely to get their team to a productive play over 3 total seasons? So we're talking about a ton of data here.
Yes, this isn't 3 weeks.
So this is
isn't
different.
3 months. This is 3 seasons.
Here's your top 5. Top 5 quarterbacks. Top 6. I'll give you top 6. I'm going to go top 8. Dak Prescott, 8. Jared Goff, 7. Brock Purdy, 6. Justin Fields, 5. Justin Fields, 5. Now, the guy gets besmirched all the time, and he just...
Well, because he stinks.
All he does is get you productive yards.
Yeah, and all he does is lose.
Productive... No, but he doesn't either. His 1-loss record's not that bad.
He's going to be great with the Jets.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to go really swimmingly.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
We get to the top. Top 4. Josh Allen. Joe Burrow. And then there's a huge jump up.
Yeah.
Like, huge jump to Patrick Mahomes, who was then edged out by Jalen Hurts.
It's amazing.
Over 3 seasons, Jalen Hurts is so far and above his peers in quarterback efficiency by snap. By every snap he takes, he is the most efficient quarterback, and we're talking about 3 full seasons of data. By the way, the worst, if you didn't look at the bottom of the chart.
I didn't see the bottom, no.
Kyler Murray. Okay. Then we'll go to Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford. Then I'm going to guys with all 3 years in there. Justin Herbert.
Oh, Justin Herbert? I thought he was the prototype.
They fall below the line of like the 50% line. So you're talking about guys who don't even fall on the 50% line where the majority of their plays are positive.
Right.
The guys who sit on the line of half their plays are positive, half their plays are negative, Baker Mayfield sits right on the line. Kirk Cousins sits right on the line. Tua Tagovailoa, right on the line.
So I can look at this in one of 2 ways. If you want me to be the positive guy or the negative guy, I could play both sides of this, right? So the positive guy is Jalen Hurts is very safe with the football, And I took the game manager opinion national this weekend because
Good.
somebody called in and said, I don't know why people like Jalen Hurts. He's just a game manager. And I said, I like that. I like that my quarterback is not putting my team in bad situations. So the positive is he's safe with the football. If the play's not there, he'll find a way to make another play, usually with his legs, to get a couple of yards, even if it's 1 yard, right? It's a positive play.
Positive.
The negative is, well, yeah, he's really careful with the football. He's not taking the shots downfield. So
what's that gotten you? 2 NFC championships, 1 Super Bowl.
Exactly. I'm not
in the last 3 years.
I'm not complaining about it.
Yes,
but there might be a reason why he's ahead of like Mahomes. Mahomes will take the shot downfield and all that kind of stuff, where Jalen Hurts won't as often.
Well, here's where the chart tells me the 2 most efficient quarterbacks the last 3 years
have been in the Super Bowl.
We got 3 Super Bowls for Mahomes, 2 Super Bowls for Hurts. Then you get Joe Burrow in there.
Who went to a Super Bowl a few years ago.
Right. You got Josh Allen, who's been to
multiple divisional rounds.
2 AFC title games and 1 AFC divisional round.
That was the crazy game with the Chiefs.
Yeah, if Mahomes doesn't exist, Allen is Mahomes.
Right.
I mean, there's just so what it tells you is the more efficient your quarterback is, the more you win.
Yes. That's why game manager, when people, oh man, he's just a game manager.
Game manager works.
Totally fine. I'm fine with it. When you have the talent.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Justin Fields is the prime example of it's not just that.
Right. If you don't have talent around you, it doesn't work.
How about this, though? When you don't have talent around you, I'm more impressed than in the world that a quarterback can be more efficient than all these guys that are surrounded with more talent. I know you guys say it with Justin Fields. When you're able to be productive and you don't have the talent around you, how are you doing that with all the guys? Does he have he has less talent around him than Baker Mayfield's ever had?
I think
than Tua Tagovailoa's ever had, than Jordan Love's ever had.
I think it was our first show together when Kenny Pickett went to the Eagles, and I said, bottom line is, if any of these 2 guys have to play, your team stinks. And I think we quickly found that out again.
No.
Justin Fields goes to the Jets. That's always a good place you want to resurge your career in. And Kenny Pickett is, who knows what he does with Cleveland.
He's probably going to get to start 5 or 6 games, probably, right?
Oh, don't they have Flacco's? They have like 17.
Gabriel,
they have 17 quarterbacks there.
Just around.
Yeah, he probably is, but so is Shador.
Do you know he's from Jersey? People like to tell you that.
Yes, they do.
He's from Jersey.
All right, coming up next, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
You're giving 2
You're on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Real quick, we were going to get to it last segment before we get to the... do you have the home run derby at all in headlines?
I do not.
Okay. You sent me something about the home run derby. You've no interest.
None, sorry. I just don't. I mean, I know we have it on the air tonight. A lot of people are into it. I'm just being honest. I have no interest.
This may shock you. I don't care about it at all.
Now, the thing is...
Even when Bohm was in it,
Now, last year I watched it for Bohm.
I didn't care.
But to me, it's the idea of I've just seen... I've seen your... Well, they don't do it anymore. He doesn't even get to do it.
Isn't he back?
He may be back.
Really? They
brought him back?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know as far as... Like, to me, it just doesn't have the same... And it's part of the reason is I blame your generation. Because the players of my generation, the stars of the game said, we owe something to the game to show up for stuff like this, to sell the game. So we play in home run derby. We participate in home run derbies. We participate in dunk contests. We participate in these things.
Well, at least you have the home run leader in it.
And then now it's like nonsense that we get guys that just don't move the needle for me. I'll watch. I will stumble upon it. But like I'm not going to be like, okay, I got to be in front of the TV. Got to see this.
I will tell you the last time I locked in. Remember when was it Vlad Jr. and Pete Alonso had like the ridiculous final or whatever?
Well, Pete Alonso was when he was lifting weights between things.
I was at a bar in Wildwood, and it was on.
That doesn't shock me. Pete Alonso and Wildwood go well together.
And at this point, I'd been drinking plenty of beers. I was like, wow, this is cool. But other than that, like it's not. It doesn't do anything for me. The All-Star Game, I think the Major League Baseball All-Star Game is still top-tier entertainment for me. Because it's the only one where you have to...
It's the only one where they actually do something, but the way that they've constructed this one...
Well, and you have to try.
You can't half-ass baseball.
Exactly. If you're a batter and you're going up there not trying and a pitch comes at your head, that's not good. And if you're a pitcher and you're not going through your routine, you could hurt your arm. So baseball is like the only one where you're still playing.
I was on my honeymoon. Quick story. On my honeymoon. So
happy anniversary, by the way.
Totally thank you, buddy.
1 week.
Totally
removed.
Disconnected. And my wife gets a newspaper. The guy walks by at Sandals and has USA Today. So I said to my wife, I went, she's brand new married. I'm like, who won the All-Star game last night? She goes, it ended in a tie. This was 2002.
That's when it still mattered for the...
I said, no, it didn't. This was the year it ended in a tie. That's what caused them to go to it was the year that they called the game off at a tie. 2002.
Okay.
So I'm on my honeymoon. I'm in the pool. I go, the score of the game. She goes, it ended in a tie. And I said, baseball game can't end in a tie, honey. It has to be...
When you run out of arms,
and she was like, it did. It ended in a tie. So one of the most historic things, I didn't think, well, then the next year they changed the rule and made it that it had to end and that 2003's was the first year that they had it for home field in the World Series.
Okay.
And that's why the rule was put in because of the 2002 tie, which I just happen to remember was always the year I was on my honeymoon.
At least it was a 7-7 tie and not like a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, there's some runs scored in that one.
And it was a 7-7 tie, and I just got married on 7-7.
About that. Look at that.
I just got married on 7-7. And I was like, that's incredible. They need to go back to home field advantage in the World Series being tied to it. Because these teams don't care. These teams don't care about it.
We'll get into this more.
They don't care about it.
We'll get into this more because at the bottom of this hour, there's more All-Star Game stuff to talk about because on Friday, you guys were off the air for this too, right? A decision was made about the last player to be added to the National League roster, and I know that caused a lot of people to be upset.
It did.
So we'll talk about that coming up around 8:30, but it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Brought to us by who?
Our friends over at Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. It was a tough weekend for our pal Mr. Met up the 95 corridor. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but Every once in a while, when these bands or artists tour, they like to have local celebrities or figures come out on stage. And the Lumineers were up in New York, and they had Mr. Met up on the stage. And there's a short clip that's circulating of him getting tossed the tambourine, does not make the catch. Then he's like walking across the stage. Guess there's not great visual out of the Mr. Met costume because he just walked clean off the stage, just stepped into nothingness, took a full-on header off of the stage, and I think he tries to crawl back up. But
oh my God,
the Fanatic would never. Do you guys get anything out of that? Watching Mr. Met fall face first off a stage at a Lumineers concert?
Nah.
I'd love to see him fall flat in his face. I find Mr. Met scary. I don't like when I can't see people in costumes, when I can't see him.
That's why you just take a bat and hit his face because it's a baseball.
Not a big fan.
I mean, that's the idea, right?
That's what I would do. Yeah, I hate Mr. Met. He's a loser. So
yeah, he can't even walk straight. So the Fanatic would have crushed that. And Mr. Met, tough weekend. Look up the clip. It's worth it if you're a Phillies fan. Maybe this is worth it for you. You can make a lot of money doing this with our next story. There's a new addition to Vegas card games, boys.
Oh, yes.
Uno is going to be at Vegas casinos. You're going to be able to play Uno at the tables out there in Sin City. How in the world is that going to work?
All right.
Okay, wait a minute.
All right. Do you know, I know that there have been fights that have broken out at casinos over blackjack, right?
Yeah, of course.
There's a bunch of idiots that sometimes.
I've gotten in fights over Uno with my friends when somebody keeps doing the reverse card on me or the pick 4 card on me because now you feel like you're getting picked on. Do you imagine if money's involved?
A lot of money?
There will be fights.
It's going to be awesome.
Over this.
Well, the thing is, now look, this is going to be at the Cousin Eddie casinos. If you remember when they were losing their money in Vegas vacation,
yeah,
and he takes them down to the casinos where they pick what number am I thinking of,
right? Those kinds of
stuff,
casinos,
and all those. That's where these games will be played. I'm fascinated by it. By the way, a joke was made on our group thread last night of war. You can play war in the casinos.
Wait, you can?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You can play casino war in some of the lower level casinos. They play casino war.
All right, do they have Go Fish? Because that was my suggestion.
They do not have Go Fish.
Could you imagine if you went all in? All right, I'm going all in. Do you have any sevens?
No.
And you're done.
There goes the house.
I sat down one night and said $100 in chips and played Casino War. And
was it nerve-wracking?
It was fast
because it's one-on-one.
It was fast. Are you
going with the dealer or are you going with another player?
No, you're doing with the dealer.
You versus the dealer.
You're at the dealer, but the dealer's just
Uno
going.
is 4 people.
That's different.
Or more.
No, there's Casino War.
More, yeah.
There's Casino War where you're just playing against the dealer. They're going around.
I just wonder how the Uno works because, imagine you don't know the person you're playing with, and it's not about the dealer.
Oh, there's going to be some fights.
There's going to be fights that break out over Uno.
Especially in the casinos that would have Uno.
All right, coming up next. Back-to-back years where we have had controversy with the National League All-Star roster. Back-to-back years, you could say it involved the Phillies. It's Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A week off for baseball. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies are heading into the All-Star break along with the rest of Major League Baseball. Now, they did so with a win yesterday, 2-1 over the Padres. Christopher Sanchez, 7 1/3 innings worth of 1-run ball. J.T. Realmuto, a big-time RBI double to set up the win. And Rob Thompson talked after the game about how Christopher Sanchez has evolved as a professional pitcher.
I'm just so proud of him from where he started and where he's at right now. Not just stuff, but command, poise, and composure.
So the Phils are 55-41 at the break, in large part thank you to the rotation and Christopher Sanchez. Despite losing the last 2 series, they actually do hold a half-game lead over the Mets in the NL East. They'll be back in action on Friday night when the Los Angeles Angels come down. All-Star game is tomorrow night. Kyle Schwarber will be the Phils' only participant. The Home Run Derby tonight, our coverage here on The Fanatic starts at 8 p.m. The MLB draft also got going last night. The Phillies selected Gage Wood, a pitcher out of Arkansas in the first round. You might remember Wood's no-hitter for Arkansas in this year's College World Series. The Sixers' next Summer League game is tomorrow night against the Wizards. We'll see if BJ Edgecombe plays. Eagles are just 8 days away from reporting to training camp. This update is brought to you by the Electrical Workers Local 269 and the Electrical Training Alliance, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269, NECA, and the Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. To learn more, go to IBEW269.com. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Fanatic.
It is 8:26 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Real quick, before we get to the All-Star game conversation, let's sneak in a couple of text messages, Connor. And first, actually, let me take this call because Jeff's been holding for a while. Jeff in Camden wants to talk about Gage Wood. What's up, Jeff?
What's going on, man? How you?
Hi, Jeff.
What's going on, Jeff?
I did see Gage Wood pitch during the College World Series, not because I follow the College World Series. It's just that summertime and there's nothing on.
Sure, absolutely.
Better than the Little League World Series.
Hey!
Right, and you know what, man? Hey, isn't this what we saw in the Air movie, if that's really how they acquired Michael Jordan, when he saw, somebody had noticed what they had in Michael Jordan at that age. You saw the movie, right, with Matt Damon and all.
Yes,
but they noticed what they saw they had in him with a particular play and this particular performance at that moment. I mean, I'm giving the Phillies high praise for striking while the iron's hot before somebody else.
Oh
did.
yeah,
Now,
I'm not against the pick. It's just the people that are saying he could pitch this year. It's only happened 24 times in history, and it's only been like 3 times since the turn of the century.
Yeah, that's crazy work, and that's definitely desperation speaking. But that's where we are. Nobody expected Jose Alvarado to get popped at 32 years old. But it was kind of suspect. You're looking at having the best combination of location and velocity ever in his career at this age. And I was just saying, I sure hope nobody catches on, and I hope I'm wrong, but I was not wrong. And here we are. So their bullpen is recovering from something. So that's one thing to also consider. And also, I did not like, and I'm not an expert. I'm not an analytics guy, but Romano, he looked like a lights-out closer, for the first 2 months of the season, and then
No, not the
a couple times he did.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Jeff. No, he's been bad more often than not, way more often than not. He did have that stretch where he settled down. Remember, it was the tipping,
He had like 13 appearances
the
or
tipping
something.
pitches where we were like, all right, maybe that's what it was.
Why do we have this? Why do we keep having to have the discussion around players tipping
I know.
pitches?
Romano, Luzardo.
I think it happens for other baseball teams too. The technology they use, Jason Stark has talked about, like the AI algorithm to pick up slight differences that exist now in the game. I think it's just more of a thing in baseball right now.
Okay, yeah, it could be. There's and then there's still the old school tipping pitches. Did you see what happened with the Yankees?
No, I
the
didn't
other
see
day.
that.
Oh, it was fascinating. This is why I love baseball. The Yankees were playing. I forget who it was, and the closer was tipping their pitches. And what somebody on first base. Cody Bellinger was on first base, and he was signaling whoever the base runner was on second every time he would throw his arm up. And if he threw his arm up, he saw a slider in the glove. The guy on second base would throw his arm up. The batter then saw the arms being thrown up and knew whether it was a fastball or slider because he was a two-pitch pitcher. So there's still old school way of tipping pitches, too.
Ricky Bo did a great job the other day before the Luzardo start in San Francisco. He did a great job on the pregame show breaking down here's something that he saw in the glove of Luzardo.
Right.
Every single one of the bad starts and how the last start against the Marlins, he did it again.
Yeah.
With the glove being up too high. And
you got to hope that you get that cleared up. Yeah.
It's good. And Ricky was like auditioning. I was worried. I told Scott, I said, is he auditioning to be a pitching coach? I said, we need to watch this. We need him on Unfiltered or Sleeveless. Afternoons 2 to 6.
All right, real quick. Great comment. Oh, my God. I just watched you on YouTube doing your arm motions again. Great comment on YouTube.
Okay.
From Tommy John. And
What's up, Tommy?
This is somebody that's in the YouTube
got good
chat
underwear
every day.
too, by the way.
This is somebody that's in the chat every day, and this is somebody that watches every day. We appreciate you, Tommy. And he just commented something that I have noticed for a year plus. He said, watching John Kincade type on that iPad is painful. Dude, you bang the hell out of that iPad.
Well, I don't have a keyboard.
I know.
So it's boom.
But you're like jabbing at it, man. Like, does your finger hurt by the end of the show?
No. It's I've been told that it's my wife will tell me that she can hear me.
Oh yeah, I can hear it sometimes, even with the headphones on.
She's like, I can hear you hit it. So definitely.
I just appreciate that somebody's watching that closely.
So, Tommy, it's absolutely something that I hear at home, too.
It's like, amazing.
Oh, my gosh, you're going to break the screen. I'm like, for God's sakes. No, I'm not.
All right. On Friday, we found out that Major League Baseball made yet again a controversial decision with the National League All-Star team. Remember last year it was going with Paul Skeens as the opening day starter when he had not made that many starts. He made a decent amount of starts.
He made 11.
He was in the double digits, but people thought, oh man, already you're going to name this guy the starting pitcher? Best decision that baseball could have made last year. We actually saw an uptick in viewership for the MLB All-Star Game for the first time in a while because the All-Star Game has gone down a lot. They made a decision on Friday to select Jacob Missanelli, who has made 5 starts in his major league career, to be the last man on the National League roster after a lot of guys opted out, right? Zach Wheeler opted out.
Sanchez and Suarez.
Suarez opted out.
Sanchez
refutes
that he did.
So Sanchez was scheduled to
he had to be offered 2 innings. He had to agree to pitch 2 innings.
His representation made a statement that it's like if anyone wants him to pitch, he's there, right? So,
but he wasn't going to, considering he just started yesterday. And let's face it, the Phillies, a team that's scuffling. Like if Christopher Sanchez played for the Rockies go, hey Chris, skip your start. We want you to pitch in the All-Star game. That would be cool for you. The Phillies are not the Rockies. The Phillies are fighting for first place in the National League East. So
some weeks they look like the Rockies, but they're not.
So they weren't going to skip his start. I know that a lot of Phillies fans were angry, and a lot of Phillies players were angry. Trey Turner cussing. Nick Castellanos calling it the Savannah Bananas, right? There were a lot of Phillies players that were upset because they were backing up Christopher Sanchez, which I think is beautiful. I think when some Phillies fan barked at Bryson Stott last week and Nick Castellanos wanted to defend him, I think that's cool. It shows that they are still a tight-knit group. But Major League Baseball made the right decision.
They did.
Whether it's right or wrong in terms of the sanctity of the All-Star game.
No, I don't think they made the right decision in that. I thought you meant the right decision about talking to the players about it.
No, they made the right decision in terms of the entertainment product.
It's ridiculous. So
strongly disagree.
So you've totally discounted what an All-Star game berth means.
That's what they're trying to get eyes, man.
No, but you've totally discounted then. So All-Star game berths mean nothing anymore.
Well,
they mean nothing anymore.
How many pitchers opted out before they even got to the final 2 guys?
There's no way you get to a guy who's been in the major leagues for 25 innings. That's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's stupid. Whether I would love to potentially see it is another issue. You've totally discounted what it means to make an All-Star.
But they're doing it for an entertainment decision.
Then you've just turned it into the Savannah Bananas.
There are more people that know Jacob Missanelli than Christopher Sanchez. Nationally. I'm not saying locally. Obviously, we know Christopher Sanchez. We love Christopher Sanchez. You know how much I like him to the point where you and I have battled about it.
If you're a baseball fan, no.
If you're a casual baseball fan, you know Jacob Missanelli more than Christopher Sanchez.
Well, then if you're a casual baseball fan, maybe. But if you're a baseball fan, no. Because Christopher Sanchez has been on the scene now for 3 years.
Yeah, then Bryce Harper never misses an All-Star game again.
Right.
Never. Like, that's not what it's
supposed to be.
It's supposed to be an earned accolade.
This is a joke. This is an absolute joke.
I hate this.
I'm
5
surprised.
Starts? I don't hate it as much as you guys
5
do.
starts? You're putting in a guy. This is a clown show thing. This is the Savannah Bananas. And by the way, I actually think the Major League All-Stars versus the Savannah Bananas would be a better option.
No, it wouldn't be, because the Savannah Bananas would suck.
Yeah,
it would be a 50-0 ball game.
Okay. But what are you saying? You get more eyeballs. You're talking about eyeballs, right?
No, honestly, I think
you get more eyeballs.
No, that would piss off real baseball fans. The Savannah
Bananas are getting more eyeballs than nationally. They now have it. You now can do it on the league. You can do the league pass, so you can buy the Bananas games.
Cool.
Okay, and the Bananas are getting more downloads and more views than watching network Major League Baseball games.
But if they played if they played a real baseball game, the people would stop watching in the second inning because it would not. Dude, it would
be a train wreck.
It would not even be a competition.
No, it would be a train wreck though. People would watch it.
I would be out.
Oh my gosh,
I would
people
not
would watch
watch
it.
the All-Stars versus the Bananas. I think that would be horrible.
I would watch it, but
People
that's
are
not the
watching,
point of the All-Star
Andrew,
game.
people are watching the Bananas more than they're watching
just
Major League
the
Baseball.
just that product, like the Globetrotters. They're watching that. You ask the Globetrotters to play the NBA All-Stars, it's not even close.
And so people will watch it. They like the Bananas more.
it would be bad in the third inning.
It would be, but they'd still watch it.
I'd be out.
They'd watch it.
I would be out.
And you know what they have? Women viewers that Major League Baseball doesn't have as much of. Just saying.
All right.
If you're talking about eyeballs, that was your case.
Yeah, Jacob Mizorowski gets more eyeballs than Christopher Sanchez nationally.
So dumb.
And that's the decision that they made, I think,
All-Star
ultimately.
games mean nothing from now on.
Well,
It's
for
a clown show.
this one debate. The other 24 guys are legit.
Oh,
This
yeah, Clayton
one
Kershaw?
Well, they're doing the whatchamacallit.
So in other words, that one didn't mean anything either. So except for those two guys.
Well, when did they start?
They mean it.
This isn't the first year. When did they start doing that?
I think this is a second year.
Yeah, they're doing. It's like for Pujols, it's for Miguel Cabrera. It's these guys, right? Let's get these guys out there one more time.
Earn it, you losers.
So ridiculous.
They earned it over their career, Connor. All right, coming up next, for those of you out there that hate listen and think Philly media is the worst, I'm sure there's somebody angry at me for this Jacob Mizorowski opinion. I don't think we've reached this level. You'll find out more next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
John and I just both did the same thing. We heard that promo. Now breaking sports.
We
dude.
both we're like, what?
We both threw our headphones on, thinking like, what did we miss?
No, it's just a
Gosh.
promo, boys.
That's a good promo. That means it grabbed our attention.
Got the attention. That's like the one though. Hopefully, we don't get like a cop pulling up behind you, like the sound. Woo, woo,
Oh yeah, you don't want that at all.
There you go.
All right, so I didn't realize you guys did this on Friday, so my apologies. There was a wild scene this past weekend with a Kansas City radio host talking about Patrick Mahomes. So when people say like Philly media is the worst, like, okay, sometimes I get what you're saying, but we've never done this. Take a listen. Go ahead.
No. Let's hear it.
Take a listen.
Meanwhile, vacation photos are popping up of Patrick Mahomes, and he's fat. He's an embarrassment. You're a $500 million quarterback. You've made all these comments in the offseason that we're going to do our talking on the field. We got our butts kicked in the Super Bowl. We're coming back with a vengeance. Dude, you're fat. Your belly would be fat at my pool, hanging out with us. 60-year-olds. My skin's flabbier than yours. I get it. Stop the fast food. Do a sit-up. Yeah, I'm sure he's worked out and strengthened his arm, and he's done all kinds of different things. Quarterback thing. But there's no training to this man. He's not a kid anymore. You can't just run through your NFL career eating Taco Bell all the time.
So that's Kevin Keitzman, who does stuff in Kansas City.
He's been around forever. By the way, Nick Wright's nemesis.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that pop up a lot.
Jack Sparrow, Nick Wright. What I would tell you is this. Mike Missanelli is going to scold you on this. He was scolding me on this the other day on his show. He couldn't believe that we have an opinion on it. Mike goes, I can't believe they care about this. Couldn't believe John has an opinion on this. What do we care that an opinion that a guy's calling Patrick Mahomes fat? And I said, Mike, when people in our industry act like a-holes behind microphones, it makes us all look stupid. When guys in our industry do things stupid, it makes us all look stupid. We get attacked for it. They attack the entire industry. So yes, it bothers me.
Yeah,
and by the way,
a wild thing to do.
This is a guy who has a reputation, by the way, of never putting himself in the orbit of being in front of Patrick Mahomes either.
Okay.
So if you're going to do this,
he feels very comfortable.
Show your face.
Right.
Like that's why I take an issue with it, because I know that there are guys in our own market here who are quite bold with words that they use and everything, who never get a credential, never go down, never see someone face to face.
Right. And it's one thing to say, I don't believe this player can win a championship. It's another thing when I've heard somebody call Trey Turner an idiot in this city before. And I'm like, whoa.
And by the way, I have been taken aside a few times by people, a couple times by players. I had one time this year where I was talked to by a player, and I told you guys about it. Mm-hmm. Like where a player will say something to you about something that you've said on the air. Not a personal attack like that, but they'll say something to you about this because you actually show your face and you show up and you don't just talk behind a microphone. They see us on these Instagram reels. Yeah. They see us on our social media feeds. And so to me, I have little respect for guys in our industry who run their mouths, who never show up.
Especially when you're
never
going
show their faces.
Personal attack, saying this guy's fat. He's an embarrassment.
An embarrassment?
One of the greatest of all time, right? Like Mahomes is on that trajectory to surpass Tom Brady.
There's nothing about Patrick Mahomes that's an embarrassment. Nothing. Even his Super Bowl performance was that was a terrible day.
It was bad.
It was a terrible day. There's nothing about Patrick Mahomes. You'd sign up for all of it. You'd sign up for every bit of it. But Mike was I was surprised by it because it's like, he goes, why does John care about what a guy in Kansas City has to say? I care, Mike, because our industry is depicted by the jugheads who work in it, who act like idiots behind microphones, who then portray all of us as being said idiots. I tend to hope that we can raise the bar. Now, and raise the integrity level.
Now, you know that radio host, the second the Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl, which odds are they will be, right?
They have a great chance to be, I would think, right?
He'll be doing the rah-rah, let's go Chiefs.
Here's what I would suggest.
I love you, Patrick.
I suggested to my friend Damon Amendola, who has the Kansas City ties to with that, I suggested he should do a show at Chiefs camp.
With his shirt off?
No, in his swim trunks like he goes to the pool.
Yeah.
just his swim trunks, do a show this summer, a live radio show where everybody can see his body on display for 4 hours. It'd be a good way to laugh it off and to own it and to have everybody be able to mock him and have a little ridicule and to laugh it off and to move on from it. I think he's a jerk. I think it's a jerky thing to do. I think it's just
insane. It's an insane, like when we talk about Hurts, like the non-quarterback stuff, we go, yeah, he doesn't really seem like a guy I'd want to hang out with because, the conversation will probably last 5 minutes.
No, you've talked about that as like
I would never. I would probably
golfing. You said well, like you've always said like you wouldn't want to play golf with them.
No,
because you're like for 4 hours it'd be awful.
Because I'm not a serious golfer, so I want to have fun. If I'm playing golf, I want to play golf with guys that I have fun with.
We will have fun tomorrow.
We're golfing. You, me, Connor, and Brent.
And Bruce Robbins.
Like that. Like that's a good time for me, right? But golfing with boring people doesn't sound all that fun for me.
And he's a very intense individual.
Now, Jalen and I could vibe out to music together.
Right?
Absolutely. But that's not like a personal attack. It's just like, all right, I don't think I'd hang out with him.
Also, you don't know how good you have it, my dude. Do you understand how special the guy is that's playing quarterback for your team?
And you're calling him fat and an embarrassment?
Well, that's just I'm too lazy to do show prep.
So let me drum something up today.
I'm going to call Patrick Mahomes fat, create a viral moment.
Maybe some good comes out of this, though. Maybe they test Patrick Mahomes for the Jose Alvarado supplement. Hey, a little weight loss action this season.
I don't think it's that bad.
Well, he could be doing Mount Rushmore shows.
Could be. Who knows?
Coming up next, Mount Rushmore.
Coming up next, John Kincade is comparing the Phillies to a Netflix series. Now that's show prep, baby. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Baseball hits the break. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies and the rest of Major League Baseball are heading into the All-Star break. The Phillies did so with a win yesterday, 2-1 victory over the Padres out in San Diego. Christopher Sanchez, 7 1/3 innings worth of work on the mound, only allowed 1 run. It was a great cap off to a stellar first part of the season for him, and his manager, Rob Thompson, talked after the game. Sounded pretty pleased with what Sanchez has given the team.
I'm just so proud of him from where he started and where he's at right now. Not just stuff, but command, poise, and composure.
He's been a big part of the puzzle for the Phillies this year. With a record of 55-41 at the break, the Phils are in first place in the NL East over the Mets by a half game, despite losing the last 2 series. They'll be back in action on Friday night when the Los Angeles Angels come to town. Kyle Schwarber, the Phillies' only active participant in the All-Star game tomorrow. Tonight, the Home Run Derby, our coverage here on the Fanatic, starts at 8 p.m. The MLB draft also got going last night. The Phillies selected pitcher Gage Wood in the first round. You might remember Wood from his no-hitter for Arkansas in this year's College World Series. Sixers' next Summer League game is tomorrow night against the Wizards. We'll see if BJ Edgecombe plays with the thumb sprain he's been dealing with. Eagles are just 8 days away from reporting to training camp. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 8:55 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's get a couple of text messages in, Connor. We've been talking about the Phillies. We've had so much going on that we've kind of walked away from the main topic. But the main topic of today's show has been whether or not you would go all in with this baseball team. Now that we have reached the All-Star break, you know what this team is, or you have an idea of what this team is. And I know a lot of people believe that this team can't win. I don't believe, as currently constructed, they can win the World Series, but I believe if they can make some of these splash moves, like a Duran or a Quan Clase, combo package, that all of a sudden we're singing a different tune. And of course, you still have to add that right-handed power back because Quan's not that. But here's the deal. In order to do that, because those guys are the top guys on the market, and those guys have team control for multiple years, it's going to cost you more than what I think a lot of people would be willing to part ways with. All right, we don't know just how much. We don't know what the market's going to be. Last year, you've brought up multiple times that
not even a top 10 prospect trade.
Right. Now, the market could be different this year. It's a year-by-year basis. If the market is an expensive market, I'm still going for it because this rotation is too good for me to waste away. It's just too good for me to have Zach Wheeler go 7 and then Jordan Romano gave up 8 runs. I can't waste these starts from these pitchers, and I've seen it in too many games and in too many series now at this point. The Astros series, the one that I'll keep on going back to, where there was 3 earned runs allowed by 3 starting pitchers combined, and the offense put up 1 total run over the course of 3 games, and they got swept in that series. I can't waste what I'm seeing from this rotation. So, Connor, what are the people saying on the text line? If they are Dave Dombrowski, are they going all in, mortgaging the future, which is the term that we always hear, or are they saying, no, this team doesn't deserve it, or I don't believe in this team even if I do add to it, so I'm not going to do it? What are the people saying on the text line?
Jeff from D.C. checks in and says, F them prospects, I'm all in. Trade them all, get me a closer and a right-handed bat. Painter, Miller, Crawford, trade all of them.
Okay.
So you're gonna. This team is worth giving up every big prospect you got. So you're going to go back. You're going to give me the 10 years that I've had to hear you, Brendan Gunn, and Connor tell me lament about. You're going to go into the dark ages because this team's going to go into the dark ages.
Now let me ask.
This is an old team.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
I don't have the same sense with this team, even though I think this is the end of this core. I think a couple of guys are going to be going after this season.
Okay, so, yeah.
I don't think this is the same, oh, my God, what are we doing, with Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins.
Okay, is a declining asset Bryce Harper?
I mean, I don't think he's declining. I think he's having a bad year because of the risks, and hopefully
so you believe
better.
Can Bryce Harper get back to what Bryce Harper's been? Can he get back to MVP caliber Bryce Harper?
Yes, I believe that he can be.
I do not. So we're in a difference of opinion there.
Okay.
Do you think that Trey Turner's best years are ahead of him?
No, but if he's a consistent 290 hitter and is hitting, double-digit home runs, I think that's still an important piece to have in your lineup.
What I'm trying to get you to so we don't have to go through it all.
Sure.
None of these guys' best years are ahead of them.
Correct.
And if you re-sign Kyle Schwarber, his best years aren't ahead of him. You're going to be paying him for his best years.
I'm paying him for his home runs.
But you're paying him for his best years are already passed. So you already have an old team.
Some might say that his best years, currently happening with his, his batting average, too.
But you're not going to get his best years aren't coming.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you that you're nuts. You're nuts to double down.
Yeah, but the point I'm making
in
2012, when they were buyers at the deadline again, I didn't have that feeling. Of the Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, and then they did it again in 2013. Remember they
did it again.
They paid Marlon Byrd and that team I felt was done. And you know what? So here's the story from my childhood. As you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Radio Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities.
You're right back in mid-season form.
ESPN doesn't just hire anybody, Johnny.
You're right back in mid-season form.
When I was a kid, my dad and I had the 17-game plan. And it started in 2003 because he wanted to do it. As soon as they signed Jim Thome, he wanted to have the 17-game plan. And plus, it got you ahead for Citizens Bank Park, right?
Okay.
So final year at the Vet, beginning of Citizens Bank Park, beginning of a new era with Jim Thome. After the 2011 season, my dad asked me, "Do you think we should do it again next year?" And I said no. After, I just got the sense that it was just not going to be the same. Now, somebody might say, "Oh, fake fan." Like, no, it's just I'm not going to tell my dad to pay thousands of dollars. We'll go to games. Let's just not do the 17-game ticket package. And what happened in 2012? They didn't make the playoffs, and that was the beginning of the decline. I don't have that sense yet that this team's they're done.
Yeah, I'm not there either, but they're not. That's the thing. If that's the bar, it's not a high enough bar because we're talking next year about what? Okay, maybe they can win high 80s, low 90s games and compete for the division and then get bounced in the postseason? Like the World Series contention could very well be over for a little stretch until they rebuild things if they go all in and don't win it.
Well, it could be, but if you go, again, going all in with these guys that you're acquiring, it's not going all in for rentals. It's going all in for guys that are on the team for a couple of years.
Right. So if you told me, like I truly believe Turner and Harper can have productive 3-4 years left where they're really good players. They're still good players. Their best years are not ahead of them. We're not seeing Bryce Harper of 19, 20, 21, 22. We're not seeing that in the future, I do not believe.
Okay.
In 26, 27, 28, I don't think. But we'll say I could be proven wrong. But here's the problem. Stott's not an answer. Marsh isn't an answer. Nick Castellanos has left more men on base than any player in Major League Baseball.
It's amazing, isn't it?
More ducks on the pond than any player in Major League Baseball. You got tons of non-answers. You have a black hole in center field. This team has a ton of holes. You have JT Realmuto as a free agent. So you're going to re-up with an old catcher? Even though his batting average has gotten hot for the last 5 weeks. And by the way, give him credit for that. He's done a real good job with that. I mean, this team has tons of holes. So you're going to go all in on a team that isn't really that.
The trades that you're making are to try to fill the holes, and you're not trading for rentals unless it's a Eugenio Suarez.
What holes are you fixing? You're fixing bullpen holes. Are you fixing your second your problem with Castellanos?
No.
Are you fixing your problem at second base?
Well, no, that's why I do the platoon for the rest of the year.
Are you fixing your center field problem?
Justin Crawford could hopefully fix that center field problem if he gets
then
called
you can
up.
do that, but you don't have to trade to do that.
Sure.
But if you do trade him away, you might be trading away a solution for that you have control of the next 7 years.
And that's when you put Quan out in center field or in the corner, and then you have
another left-handed bat to a heavy left-handed lineup, which doesn't make any sense. No championship club's ever been built like that, where you're building this all left-handed lineup. I just think this team's poorly built. They have too many holes. And yes, can they win a series in the playoffs? Sure they can. Absolutely they can. This team's got 4 holes in the lineup minimum.
Yeah.
It's too easy to pitch to the Phillies.
But I have a rotation that I can't just let go to waste. I can't waste this rotation.
No, I'm all for making moves. I am not for just saying push all the chips to the center of the table, which is that mentality.
Right? Yeah, I'm not there yet either.
When you're playing Uno.
Yeah, exactly.
At the casinos.
You cannot go all in. If you're saying all in, you cannot be all in looking at this roster. This is not an all-in team roster. It's not. They're not that good.
Well, that's not why I'm not doing it.
Why are you not doing it?
I'm more because of the age of the roster. I think they're very good.
They got old quick.
There's just not really a safety net for future seasons. Where
you think this is a very good team?
Yeah.
Okay, if you were to say which parts of this team are very good?
The rotation's nasty.
The lineup is excellent. I'll give you as far as the starting pitch.
Yeah,
excellent.
The rotation's nasty. The top part of the lineup is pretty darn good. The problem is you don't have depth in the lineup.
Look, here's the deal. There's one elite baseball team in the National League.
Yeah, and it's the Dodgers.
There's one elite. Like the Cubs have a better record than the Phillies, and
I'll take the Cubs lineup.
The Cubs don't scare me.
Yeah, you've beaten the Cubs head-to-head this year.
Yeah, the Cubs lineup is much better.
Like here are the teams, the 50-plus win teams in the National League. Dodgers, all right, elite, class of their own. Padres, I've seen them beat. I've seen the Padres beat the Phillies.
Right.
The Giants, they've beaten the Phillies. I've seen the Phillies beat the Giants. Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals, Reds, Mets. And then the Phillies, of course. Like, there's one elite baseball team. And so if you can add to your baseball club that is a part of a pretty good National League, but one elite team, and you just got to hope that those moves that you make, and it's going to be multiple. You're not giving up the farm for one reliever. You're giving up the farm for multiple areas. Then all of a sudden, maybe the conversation's a little bit different.
Yeah, you're much more. You guys are much more sold on this team than I am. It's just is where I am not.
I just can't waste this pitching staff. That's what
this pitching staff's great, but they've already wasted it.
All right, tell
us
about this Netflix series.
Okay, here's
you got going on.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Connor. Just to suspend belief for a second, the Phillies are a Netflix series.
I think John stole my stash when I was gone.
Okay, this works. Phillies are a Netflix series. 2022 season 1 comes out. It's the hot new show. It burst onto the streaming service. Everyone's talking about it. You can't get it off your social media feed. It's red hot. You can't wait for season 2 to come out. And in 2023, it comes out. Everybody anticipates it. It's a little slow starting, but then it looks like it's going to deliver again, and it's great until the cliffhanger. And it absolutely sucks. But you're like, I'm 2 years in. I'm bought in. I'll wait till season 3 comes out. Season 3 comes out, and it's on a roll. And you say to yourself, wow, it's rebounding. This feels like season 1 again. It's all the energy, all the excitement and everything. And then the season 3, it just goes terrible down the stretch. And the finale, again, leaves you terrible. You're in season 4 right now, the Netflix series with the Phillies. And if the Phillies were a Netflix series, I keep hearing people ask, and I've heard hosts on our own station ask this, are you not enjoying the ride? Are you not just enjoying the ride with this Phillies team? No. Because if the Phillies were a Netflix series, you wouldn't enjoy that from a Netflix series. And by the way, I've watched series like this. I think we all have. Where you start a series and it's great, and then I think the Phillies are in season 4 of that Netflix series that you're like, I can't turn it off. We watched that stupid Manifest. Couldn't turn it off.
You hate watched it.
We hate watched it because we had to see how this stupidity ended. And I feel like season 4 right now, the Phillies are that Netflix series. So the trade deadline has a chance to be the mid-season cliffhanger. Maybe it'll get us back.
I go away for 1 week and John's a pothead now.
There it is.
My God.
I'm telling you.
What happened when I was
I'm just saying. They're a Netflix series.
All right. Coming up next, we'll get back to more of your text messages as we continue to talk about the Phillies. Would you go all in with this baseball team? I can't waste this pitching staff. I can't. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody. It's Bill Colarulo, and coming up at 2 o'clock on Unfiltered.
Is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
Dude, Dylan McKinnon, who I just saw during the commercial break, he's with me. He's a FM prospects guy.
You guys are like Les Snead Jr.
Well, proven versus unknown, right? That's just, I kind of like to go about that in life, too. Like, I like to try new places, but if people tell me it's really good, I'd like to.
Where do you think major league players come from? Do you think they just materialize at the major league level?
Again, but there is all right, if somebody told me right now, I could see if Justin Crawford can become something, or I can get Emmanuel Clase, who I know is something. All right? One is I could see, one is I know I will see. I would rather know something than maybe see something.
Connor, you just stepped in the bear trap and proved Dylan's point and Andrew's point. And you don't even realize you did it.
Tell me how.
You said, where do you think players come from? Oh, I know where they come from. Zach Wheeler, the Mets. Mm-hmm. Bryce Harper, the Nationals. Trey Turner, the Nationals.
Padres.
Yeah, exactly. Nick Castellanos, who was it?
Detroit.
Reds.
Detroit. I mean, like, the entire Phillies roster, this team that you think is very good.
JT Realmuto, Miami.
Yeah. They didn't come from our minor league system.
Right. That's how this team built it. It's not how every team built it.
Yeah, but you're saying, but the thing is they're saying give their picks away because they know this organization hasn't produced players.
Well, and it's not just that. It's the proven commodities of these players that I'm acquiring. Like JT Realmuto, if he didn't come here and he stayed in Miami or if he went to another team, was going to have a spectacular career. People did not want to trade Sixto Sanchez because somebody said he's the next Pedro Martinez. And once you hear that, you go, oh, my God, would you really trade Pedro Martinez? Sixto Sanchez is not in Major League Baseball anymore. Neither is another name that Dylan reminded me of during the commercial break.
Who's that?
Can't miss.
Who?
Oh, untouchable. Spencer Howard.
Oh, my. Mr. Peanut Butter and Jelly Sandwich.
Peanut Butter Jelly. The reason why he was able to pitch 4 innings once was because he ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
No, but that was because he ran to first.
I know.
Ricky gets so pissed about that.
He
just bring up Spencer Howard to Ricky Vitalica.
He is playing for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles of the Nippon Professional Baseball League.
Oh, so he's over in Japan. Nice. Good for Spence.
Spence. Just the fact that it's Spence.
Spence.
He's over there playing with Hayden and Caden and Layden and Maiden.
He bothered the hell out of me when he was here.
Yeah. And he was a can't miss,
can't deal,
untouchable, God forbid.
What you've done is you've gone emotional. And you have said, well, this Phillies prospect hurt me in the past. And this Phillies prospect hurt me in the past. And that Phillies prospect.
But
so now all of a sudden, every Phillies prospect is Spencer Howard.
Kyle Drabek didn't hurt me. Kyle Drabek got traded for Roy Halladay. Kyle Drabek hurt the Blue Jays. Carlos Carrasco was an okay player, but the guys that they really wanted in that trade with Cleveland, the Jason Knapp and who was the Lou Marson, the catcher, those guys hurt Cleveland. Cliff Lee did not hurt Philadelphia. So the guys that they acquired added to these teams. Roy Halladay's your favorite pitcher of all time.
Yes. And Roy Halladay once pitched in the minor leagues.
Okay. These guys not Nars, by the way. Another one.
Now, if your issue is the Phillies system, and you don't think they can develop prospects?
Again, that's not my issue. It's proven versus unknown all the time for me. I could be doing this show in Chicago. I could be doing this show in Boston. It's how I would feel. Unless you're like the Yankees and the Dodgers, where it's like, they find guys left and right because they can. That's a bit of a different conversation. But this minor league discussion, if I could trade a can't miss prospect. I hear can't miss every single year.
I know.
You watch MLB Network, it's the pipeline, the can't miss prospects. And more often than not, these guys are nothing compared to what you think they're going to be. And then you have guys like Aaron Judge, who nobody thought would be Aaron Judge. Like, it's just the way baseball works. And it is a risk. It is a gamble. It's all that. So, like, if I'm trading away these prospects, there is a legitimate chance that I am trading. There's a chance that I'm trading away a Hall of Famer. There's a chance that I'm trading away an All-Star. Or there's a chance that I'm trading away a guy that's not in baseball in a couple of years, but I got a guy that I knew would be able to help my team out in the immediate future. And for some of these guys, for the next couple of years because you're getting them under control.
Right, and that's a known risk, but you've got to account for that because part of the just trade everybody is almost ignoring that risk.
But if I'm saying it, and let's say Dave Dombrowski does it, Dave Dombrowski must have information on whether or not he thought that guy was actually that can't-miss player.
Yeah, I got you.
Right?
Which is why I don't think they're moving Painter. That's the exact reason why I think they're saying he's not on the table.
That may be true, but a guy like Mick Abel or some of the other prospects.
Absolutely.
Again, there may be a reason why Crawford is not up. There might be a reason. They may think, if he goes to the big leagues and starts hitting 220. Let's keep him in the minors. He hits 350. Maybe we could move him. I don't know if that's exactly what the reason is, but it could be. That's why I always do proven versus unknown.
I don't always, but I have to believe in the collective cast that it's worth doing.
Well, yeah. So Brandon Marsh, I hated that trade. Like I did not like that trade, even though he was in the big leagues and Logan O'Hoppe was not. I did not like a guy who struck out as much as Kyle Schwarber but hit 50% less home runs. Like, I don't like that. So it depends. It's in reason. You don't hear me saying just trade him for anyone. It's for guys that I think can actually help this baseball team out immediately, and there are guys that could be available in the next 2 weeks. I hate prospects.
I know you do.
How's Bryson Stott doing?
Well, he's got a great walk-up song.
Somebody ruined you at one point in your life, and I'm going to try and figure out who.
No. I've just caught on quicker than you. I'm a whole, 6 months older than you?
Nothing or very few things in life are absolute. Prospects can be good.
They could be. But what is absolute is if a guy is good at the major league level, it'll probably continue.
Also not absolute. We learned that with Austin Hayes.
I would say, I never thought that he was good at the major league level. John can be my witness.
Been good this year.
Yeah, you didn't.
All right, coming up next. Yeah, he's playing for a crap Reds team. Coming up next, can an all-time franchise lineup tell you how bad the franchise has been as a whole? Can't wait to talk more about the Phillies next here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sanchez carries the Phils into the break. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies are heading into the All-Star break, and they did so with a win yesterday over the Padres. Tight 2-1 victory. Christopher Sanchez dominant again on the mound. 7 1/3 innings of one-run ball. And Rob Thompson talked about what he's worked on and what he's contributed this year.
I'm just so proud of him from where he started and where he's at right now. Not just stuff, but command, poise, and composure.
Sanchez has been a stud for the Phils this year, and with a record of 55-41 at the break, the Phils are in first place in the NL East by a half game over the Mets despite losing their last two series. They're going to be back in action on Friday night when the Los Angeles Angels come to town. Kyle Schwarber is their only active All-Star that will be participating in the game tomorrow. Tonight, the Home Run Derby. It starts at 8 p.m. Our coverage does on 97.5 The Fanatic. The MLB draft also started last night with the Phillies selecting Gage Wood, a pitcher out of Arkansas in the first round. You might remember him from the no-hitter heard around the world, or at least around the College World Series from this last year's tournament. The Sixers' next Summer League game is tomorrow night against the Wizards. We'll see if VJ Edgecombe is back in action with his thumb sprain that's been hampering him. The Eagles are just 8 days away from reporting to training camp. This update is brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Looking for a job in the logistics or supply chain industries? Connect with dozens of local businesses at your Express Employment Professionals location at ExpressPros.com. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 9:25 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Mike Missanelli show comes your way at 10.
He's all ready for the show today, him and Ray.
We were just talking to Mikey during the break. He was wondering how many of the position players that the Phillies have traded away have they lamented trading away, or have they held on to that they've been happy with. And one of the players we talked about during the break was Bryson Stott. Is Bryson Stott a guy we're happy with? I like Bryson Stott. I love Bryson Stott.
I'm a big fan.
Oh, as a person, I'm a big fan. But what I'm saying is, like, what I get at him, all right, he's not the hit leader that we were being told was going to happen.
I mean, the most you can give him in his career with the Phillies is league average second baseman. That's the absolute peak of what you could possibly tell me he's been since his time with the Phillies.
Right. And again, I remember still doing a show when people said I would not trade for Shohei Ohtani if Bryson Stott was included in the deal.
I still can't believe that ever happened.
It happened. You can ask Tom Alvord. We had a lot of fun that day.
Like, that's
show,
crazy to me.
Wondering how crazy people are. All right, so Fox, leading into the All-Star game, foxsports.com, they did every team's all-time lineup. So we're just going to do the Phillies one, obviously. The Phillies, as we know, have not been a historically good franchise. They are a historic franchise because they've been around forever, since 1883. But they've made the playoffs, 15 times? Now, obviously, rules were different back in the day where only the top two teams from each league made it and all that kind of stuff, so I get it. But we have really only seen 3 stretches for the Phillies. The 80s, early 80s, the 2007 through 11, and the one that we're in right now.
That's because you didn't see the 70s. Yeah, because the 70s, they had a stretch.
Okay.
They had a stretch. So for some of our listeners, they did. That was grade school for me, but they had it. They did have a stretch in the 70s. 3 straight division titles.
Okay.
Like that.
So was that the one that carried into the 80s? That's what I meant, the 70s into the 80s.
Well, the 70s,
83 was like the end
it was
of it.
76, 77, 78.
Right, that's what I meant. And then 80,
okay,
and
then they had the 1 year where
back
it was
end of the 70s. Right, okay. So the Phillies, they're our team, and we love them.
Sure we do.
But they're not a historically great franchise by any
They're
means.
the losingest franchise in all of pro sports.
Yeah. So Fox did the all-time lineup for each team.
Okay.
And it was not like this guy played for them for one season but is a Hall of Famer. It's like you consider them a member of the Phillies, or you consider them a member of the Royals, or whatever. It's just so that we all know. So, like, Jim Tomei is not on this team.
Okay.
Because he only played 4 seasons. You think of him more as a Cleveland, at the time, Indians, and then, of course, White Sox and all that kind of stuff. So here's the starting lineup. They went pitcher, position players, DH, relief pitcher. 1 relief pitcher. Starting pitcher, Steve Carlton. I don't think anyone has a problem with
I'd say that's a pretty good pick.
That's a pretty good pick. And by the way, pitching-wise, even though it's been different eras, you could come up with a pretty good starting 5 for the Phillies. It's just multiple different eras.
Okay.
Darren Daulton was the catcher, which right away I find interesting. Because I could make the case that JT has been better. I could make the case that Chooch was better. But they have Darren Daulton as the starting catcher for the all-time Phillies lineup.
I could think the argument could be made for both of those guys against Darren Daulton.
Yeah, and you could make the case for
Darren.
You could make the case for Dutch too, because I know Dutch and his leadership, especially with that crazy '93 team. Like, I know all about it. Right.
I hope Ricky talks about that on Unfiltered.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'd love to hear his analysis from up close and personal of all that.
Peace, first baseman. Love it. But like Ryan Howard compared to other first basemen, he had that ridiculous stretch.
Okay.
But remember, it was short-lived because they called him up late, and then he got hurt, and he wasn't the same. Chase is the second baseman. Schmidt's the third baseman. So you got a Hall of Famer, right? You got a Hall of Fame Steve Carlton. You have Hall of Fame Mike Schmidt. We may see Hall of Fame Chase Utley. He seems to be the guy that has the best shot out of any of those 3, Rollins, Howard, Utley.
And Howard
even though I think it's wrong, but that's what it seems like it's going to be for baseball.
Right, and Howard has Hall of Fame talent. He didn't have a Hall of Fame career.
Correct.
Yeah.
Jimmy Rollins, they have at shortstop. Your outfield.
Okay, wait a minute. Can I guess the outfield?
Yes, but I'll tell you that they have Harper as DH.
Okay, so Harper's DH. That means they have to go Abreu?
Yes.
Abreu's got to be there.
I love Bobby Abreu, and people hate him in this town.
Okay, Abreu.
But
Victorino?
No. I thought that may
Gary
have been
Maddox?
it too. No.
Who the hell do they have?
They got Nails in center field. Lenny Dykstra.
Too short and a cheater. I'm trying to think of the other outfielder.
Go way back, but you love him for his also announcing. God rest his soul.
Richie Ashburn.
Correct. Whitey.
Okay, well, Whitey was great. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but
that's like,
really?
It's an okay team. Harper's your DH. Tugger they had as the relief pitcher. They put Charlie as the manager.
Wow.
It's weak, man.
Well, that's bad.
It's pretty weak. Like, we love these guys, but I don't have, like, the Dodgers in front of me. But I'm going to imagine that some of these teams have, like, 9 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, you got 2.
Right. With
maybe 3 or 4.
Oh, my gosh. That's really bad.
Yeah.
But I can't believe that. Wow. Well, Richie Ashburn.
He's in the Hall of Fame. So you have 3 Hall of Famers currently with maybe 4 for Chase.
I just think of when I think, like, I don't even, again, and I'm just no disrespect to Richie Ashburn, I don't even think of, because my father watched him.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
My father watched him play. So that didn't even come to mind. That was bad on my part. But
yeah, I mean, look,
thinking,
I don't blame you for forgetting about the 1950
wow.
star Richie Ashburn.
Wow.
I don't blame you. But that's
incredible.
Pretty weak.
That's incredible.
That's pretty weak. That kind of sucks. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Tim in Jenkintown. Tim, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hi, Timmy.
Tim?
So, I'm kind of with Kincade on this. I believe in going for it when you believe it's possible, and I just don't think they have the pieces this year to go for it. And I don't know, maybe it's because we've won a few championships. I can chill a little bit. I don't want to drop off the cliff like we did the last time in 2012 when, Ruben refused to admit that, it was over. And so if you believe that the starting pitching is not going to be the reason we lose in the playoffs, then I think we have a rare opportunity to trade Ranger Suarez, a guy that we're not going to sign in the offseason anyway. So, and if you believe that Aaron Nola...
But Tim, to my point of this, I don't want to waste this rotation. It's because of Ranger. He's one of those guys that I don't want to waste.
I understand, but you can get 2 top-flight minor leaguers, and I know you don't believe in them, but even if they don't come to fruition, it's just pieces in the future you could potentially trade. Maybe one of them is a catcher. This team's going to look so different in a year, and I think you can't just ignore that they can't spend money at every position.
I promise you this, Tim. I'm going to hold them. I'm going to hold these guys that are like all in. I'm going to hold them accountable. If they dare whine later on, if this team just flames out in the first round of the playoffs, and then they wasted all the prospects trying to double down on a team that doesn't have the DNA. They know this team's not good enough. They're just not willing to admit it this morning.
Exactly. And you can still do moves. So even if you got, so you trade him, and if you believe Aaron Nola can have that 4th spot in the playoff rotation, you're not going to lose because of the starting pitching. You could get a couple minor leaguers plus probably a bullpen piece. And then I'm with you trading Mick Abel. I would send him to the Angels and try and get Taylor Ward, an outfielder with a power, right-handed power hitter. So I think you can do both, address this season and beyond, and not have us just be in the doldrums for years.
Well, and so to your point about Ranger Suarez, and thanks for the call, Tim. If you're trading Ranger Suarez, you're not trading him for prospects. You're trading him for somebody that's going to help you now.
Well, you could trade him for a controllable player.
Right. You're going to trade he would be in a package where you're getting a reliever to help you out, or like a bigger bat. I just don't think that's happening.
That thought process makes no sense. So you're trading Ranger Suarez, who's basically got a 2 ERA this year for a team that could contend for the World Series. And then once you move off of him, then you're trading a prospect that could replace Ranger Suarez in the rotation in the future for a 31-year-old in Taylor Ward. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
you're
that makes
fixing,
no
are you
sense.
fixing your lineup, which is deficient?
Wait,
Yeah.
Are you
fixing
fixing
the
your
lineup?
lineup, which is deficient?
What are you fixing the lineup for if you're trading Ranger?
No. He said McAble
Because
for Taylor Ward.
I know, but he was saying trade Ranger
But as
and
I
then do
told
that.
you last week, Connor, I proved the point over and over again for the last 10 years. We did where you were out.
Okay.
Starting pitching doesn't win you the World Series. Relief pitching does more prominently, and batting wins you more prominently.
Right, but you still
the
need
starting
it.
pitching gets you to the relievers.
but the Phillies starting pitching is more than good enough to win a World Series.
Not without Ranger.
Yeah, it is. With Wheeler, absolutely.
With Wheeler, Sanchez, and who?
Absolutely. Luzardo is good enough right now. Luzardo's had 4 bad outings, and he's had, 15 good outings?
Yeah, remember, still 2.5 months of baseball for a guy they worry about his longevity.
Is that there it is. But we did a whole thing on it about how starting pitching, the Phillies have more than enough starting pitching to win a World Series, comparable to other World Series winners. They don't have enough bullpen. Don't have enough in the bullpen.
They definitely don't have enough in the bullpen. That is absolutely right. All right, coming up next, we'll check our text messages. We got the Key 3 coming up as well. This Phillies all-time lineup. I love my Phillies. But, man, you realize that compared to other all-time teams, the reason why they're the first to 10,000 losses. It's Kincade Salciunas on this Monday morning, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike The Fanatic.
9:42 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Gotta check out the deal of the week. It's an awesome one. Special place in my heart. Johnny's never been.
What's that?
You gotta check out Storybook Land.
I have not.
Get a ticket to Storybook Land for half off. Located in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. Storybook Land is a great destination for family fun with rides and attractions inspired by classic children's stories. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last at 975thefanatic.com/deals.
Just telling you a quick story of Connor. Right? So we have a young seminarian who's going to be a priest next year at our parish.
Okay.
So I'm walking into church on Saturday, and Father Riley, like you say hello to Father Riley, I go into church, and the seminarian comes up the aisle and hands me a paper. And he said, Father Riley says, you have to evaluate me on my sermon today. So he hands me the evaluation form, and I had to listen to the young man's sermon and then score him and then deliver commentary on his sermon.
How'd he do?
He kicked ass.
Oh, nice.
Can you say that about a... Yeah,
sure.
Seminarian? Kid was great. Kid was fantastic.
John said he didn't hit the homily on time, though. So
I was watching. I tried
to
be.
Demerit.
I pulled my inner mass stellar on him, though. I was like, okay, he teased well. He had good content. He delivered the content well. It was good. I was like trying to be young, putting mass stellar in on him. But he was great. The kid was great. He's going to make a great priest one day, and next year. So some parish will be lucky to get him.
Question.
Yep.
As somebody who frequents church more than I do,
okay.
I never want to badmouth a priest, but what makes a good priest?
Good speaker, number one.
Yes.
Have to be a good sermon.
Like, I got to be engaged.
And
I got to be like, yeah.
And they can't drag on.
Correct.
Can't drag on. Got it. Like, it has to be a good message, a fast message. Deliver it.
Yeah.
That's what it's got to be.
I agree.
That's good.
I agree.
Like a good reliever out of the bullpen.
I'll just leave it at that. I agree.
Big reliever right out of the bullpen.
Come on, get me going. I want to feel good when I leave this
Yes,
place.
you want to feel
All
good
right?
about it.
Come on, man.
Not fire and brimstone. I feel good.
All right, what do we got in the text line there, Connor, at 610-632-0975?
All right, so we have a lot of people checking in on this Phillies conversation. Zach from Florida wants to talk a little prospects. He says, Dominic Brown, number one prospect in all of baseball. That dude killed my value of prospects. So, yeah, if you can get a legit piece, a clear upgrade, yes, trade him.
That's a great one because we heard about Dominic Brown forever.
Yep, he was the next,
and he had a good 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, and look, a lot of these times too, like when we were talking to Mike during 2 breaks ago, it's not even that they get traded away and they become something. How many times don't even make it? Like, how many times have we seen a guy? Oh, this guy is the top 10 prospect in the Phillies farm system,
and they don't even get there,
and then we never see him. And sometimes a player drafted is like immediately in the top 10 prospect, right? Like, I imagine Cornelius Randolph at one point was a top 10 prospect for the Phillies. Just a guess because of where he was drafted. He was a former first-round pick. Jesse Biddle, I bet you, was at one point a top 10 prospect.
Mickey Moniak.
Yeah, but we at least saw him make it to
Mickey Moniak was probably a top 5 prospect.
Right.
Yeah, Rocky's legend.
And
come on.
And then they make it here, or in the case of Cornelius Randolph, they never make it here. And so if I could have traded away a guy because he was a former 10th overall pick and try to get something out of him, that would be great. Cornelius Randolph is currently playing for Quintana Roo, the Tigres, in the Mexican League. So that's where former number 10 overall pick Cornelius Randolph.
That's by Cancun. I wonder if he hangs out down there.
Quintana Roo is actually one of my weather apps saved. It's one of the things I saved.
Nice.
Because that's where I went to a resort once, and John thinks it's weird that I saved my weather apps.
Sometimes you got to check in on how the weather is for Cornelius Randolph.
That you went years ago.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, man.
I think it's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
It helps remind me of the times that I had. I had a great time when I was in Mexico for the DeCarlo wedding. Like, I had a great time, and I like to revisit that sometimes.
It's like I take Mo Bay off, and then I'll put Mo Bay back on.
Nah, keep it on, man. What else we got on the text line?
No name on this text, but they have a question about our previous segment where we were talking about whether or not this team is good enough. So they ask, if this team is not good enough, in your guys' opinion, why would the Phillies not just sell at this year's trade deadline?
Because they could still be good enough,
if they ask.
But it doesn't mean you have to empty the coffers to improve yourself. You don't have to necessarily say what needs to be done to this team means you trade every major prospect, which is what was responded to from the texter back on earlier in the show.
Yeah.
That said, put all your chips in the center of the table, go for it, everything. No.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either. I'm not all in on this.
We were on that. You and I were both on that.
But I'm also not all in because I do believe this team has a lot already. Like, I don't think they're as far away.
Like, do you think they're a very good team? If you were marking the box, excellent, very good, good, that you'd vote very good.
I would vote very good. Yes.
I go good. I can't give them very good or excellent.
So how would you rank, like, let's talk some other teams, right?
Well, that's why
Dodgers, very good.
Dodgers are elite. I'm going to go elite.
I'm not going Dodgers with too many injuries. I'm going very good. Because Dodgers have so many injuries to their
So then there is no elite team in your league?
Not right now, no. I absolutely don't think there is. But I don't think that the Phillies are going to beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series right now either.
Stott, Kemp, Rojas, Marsh, Sosa were in your lineup yesterday. Or sorry,
I mean, seriously,
Stott,
this
Kemp,
is.
Marsh, Sosa.
Are we watching?
That's 4 guys.
Are we watching our teams?
That's half your batting. That's half your batting order. That's horrible.
It's like I get you. I get people saying, "Well, look at the other teams: Ohtani, Betts, Smith, Freeman, Kike Hernandez." I mean, like, are we literally
some spice to that?
Are we literally comparing the Phillies lineup to the Dodgers?
Well, no, you can't. Like, there's no team in baseball.
Are we going to compare the Phillies lineup? Are we going to compare the Phillies lineup to the Cubs?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take the Cubs lineup.
The Phillies have beaten them head to head.
I would take the Phillies lineup.
Batting lineup?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I do not. The Cubs lineup is so much better. As far as just offensively, they're a better team.
Based on what? Pre-All-Star break of one season?
What do you mean pre-All-Star break of one? Like right now, the Cubs, we're talking about this year. We're not talking about history. We're not talking about History Channel. We're talking about their team.
Well, we can't pretend like nothing before this year ever exists. Like Bryce Harper didn't hit a home run to send his team to the World Series. Like Kyle Schwarber hasn't crushed postseason pitching at points. Like Nick Castellanos hasn't been incredibly clutch in the postseason.
Right now, my man Dansby Swanson, who I've gotten on for having a sort of a subpar year. He's hit like 250 with like 16 home runs. As a shortstop, like he's having like he's more productive if you saw as a run producer than Trey Turner. Okay. And it's like, he's not going to hit 300 for you.
Right.
But he's going to be a run producer at the bottom of the order.
Yeah.
He's going to be he can be a run producer like that.
Just saying, I'm looking at this Cubs team, and like they've had a really good pre-All-Star break this year. There's still a lot more to go, and
we're talking about this year. I'm not talking about any other year. I don't care what other teams have done.
Yeah, but there is also some speculation and using history to your advantage.
That speculation that this Phillies team's going to get better? I got 3 years of data to tell you October's coming, and they're not going to be better.
I got 2 weeks of speculation that they will get better. Trade deadline.
Trade deadline?
Deadline.
Yeah, well, they haven't. 3 years has told you they won't get better at the trade deadline.
Well, and then Dave Dombrowski will have to hear it.
There you go.
Time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3, today's best.
Johnny, it's good to see you. It's been like 2 weeks.
Longer. I mean,
You've gone gray since I've seen you last.
It's like 18 days since we've been together. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Are you ready to go all in? If you are the Phillies management, you're Dave Dombrowski. Are you going all in? And by all in, it's not, hey, can we move our 8th prospect to get the number 1 closer on the market? No, you're going to be giving up some top guys, whether it's on the Major League roster right now or, of course, your top prospects, your Andrew Painters, your Aiden Millers, your Mick Abel, who's been up and down. Are you all in? Johnny,
no.
I'll ask you.
No, I'm not. But the reason I'm saying that is because the fact is I did the deep dive this weekend, did a lot of reading. But what I read was last year's trade deadline. I went back and was such a dork. I went back and read what all the people were writing about last year's trade deadline. And they were saying the same stuff. To get the guys in the trade market, you're going to have to give up the top prospects. Top prospects are going to have to be moved. Even the Phillies beat writer last year, who I think do an amazing job. Great job. They were talking about you're going to have to give up the Aiden Millers, the Mick Abels, in order to get anybody at the trade deadline. A top 10 prospect was not moved across Major League Baseball at the trade deadline. So I hear people saying you got to move your top prospects in order to get somebody at this trade deadline. I will just tell you, and if you do a little research, you can see it. They were saying the same stuff last year, and that didn't come to fruition across the entire major leagues. As Forrest Gump once told us on that bus stop in Savannah, we have no freaking clue what this team is, and their erraticism from week to week, we have no idea. What I do believe I know today, July 14th, I do believe I know that this team cannot put together 5 to 6 weeks of great baseball. Nope. As currently constituted,
right,
this team cannot. Can I change my mind? Absolutely. Can they convince me in the second half? Can they go make some trades? Absolutely. But as currently constituted, could this team win a couple rounds? Absolutely. Could they go to a World Series? Yeah, sure they could. Could they play 3 great rounds of baseball in a row? No, they can't. Because they've shown me over 3 years that they can.
I just don't think Forrest Gump ever used the word erraticism.
I keep hearing about Cleveland and Minnesota. Cleveland and Minnesota.
Right, those are the two teams where there's a lot of players. Right.
Okay, now the Phillies getting mentioned a lot with Cleveland and Minnesota. Here's another thing Dork Boy did this weekend. Go read the Cleveland and Minnesota beat writers. They're not writing stuff about the Guardians tied to the Phillies. They're not hearing about the Twins tied to the Phillies. Makes me wonder if the Phillies are getting stuff out because the Twins writers and the Guardians writers are writing stuff, but they're not writing about the Phillies being the hot and heavy team. It's making me wonder if we're getting fed stuff to give us, hey, back off. We're doing everything. We're all in. We're doing everything we can. When in reality, they're kicking tires.
Well, unless Dave Dombrowski just texts Jeff Passan and doesn't text the Matt Gelb of Cleveland. So, hello, guys. I'm Andrew Salciunas, Mr. F Them Picks. Mr.
You are.
Bleep those prospects.
You're the Les Snead of sports radio.
I don't care about prospects. I really don't. And I got to the point where I didn't want to move on from Andrew Painter and Aiden Miller, and I still hesitate, but we're watching Andrew Painter struggle in AAA. He may be working on things. Now, all of a sudden, he's not even in the plans for this second half of the season, or at least they don't have any public plans for Andrew Painter. I remember when Kyle Drabeck was an untouchable prospect. All those guys in the previous Guardians trade for Cliff Lee, these guys were untouchable prospects, and they didn't pan out. And I know we've had this conversation numerous times, right? All right, it's easy for me to point out to the prospects that haven't panned out. There have also been prospects that have panned out.
Not many, though.
But I know the guys that are currently panning out. The guys in Major League Baseball that are panning out. All right, that is the key three. Real quick, Shefty reporting that Juwan Jennings, wide receiver of the Niners, had a very good season last year.
He did.
Wants a new contract, or...
Are you kidding me?
He wants to be traded.
Is he going into the final year?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. They've screwed their cap, man.
Yeah.
They have just mishandled things so
At least
poorly.
they have Brock Purdy.
I just love how July 14th. Yeah, Brock Purdy, Mr. $50 million. Let's see how he plays with not all the talent in the world around him.
Where do you think he's going? He's not going anywhere. Juwan Jennings ain't going anywhere.
We'll see, John.
I mean, he can push it if he wants, but hey, H&H Heating and Air Conditioning, they're great folks. They made a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research. You can do just what they did. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saves lives. I feel like Drew Carey there.
That's cool.
I feel like Drew.
All right. Felt good to be back. Glad
Good to
be
see
back.
you.
And we have another fun week ahead.
Oh, we're going to have fun
we'll be back
tomorrow.
at it tomorrow at 6. Mike Missanelli